others don't. But what actually is it? And is it going to be any good for the game? In simple terms, it'll be an organisation not controlled by the Premier League, the EFL or the government, which will make sure all clubs are financially stable and don't rip off the fans. The aim is to make sure what happened to Bury, Derby and Reading doesn't happen again. Now, a significant reason clubs go under is because of dodgy owners financially mismanaging the club and running it into the ground. But in theory, these should be a thing of the past with the new regulator. They'll be able to use data from the National Crime Agency to perform stronger fit and proper persons tests and can even force owners to give up their stake in a club, which for certain supporters might be a welcome relief. It's likely good news for the EFL. The tension between them and the Premier League over a fair financial deal has been increasing in recent years. As it stands, talks have broken down. The Premier League backed out of recent negotiations, but the regulator will have the power to force through a deal, meaning more money for clubs lower down the pyramid. Now, this might sound simple, but in reality there's concerns this will open a legal can of worms, which could result in messy court cases involving the Premier League and the regulator. Parachute payments will be brought under the control of the regulator too. If they reduce them, it could mean a wider variety of clubs securing promotion to the top flight, but critics reckon it'll just mean the gap between the Premier League and EFL actually widens, as promoted clubs won't get as much money, which should normally be used to buy better players so they can compete. And current Premier League clubs have said if there were no parachute payments, they'd actually invest less, which would harm the quality of the top flight. And if clubs don't invest, then you'll get exactly what the EFL don't want, which is the same 3 clubs going down every year. And remember when Cardiff's owners changed the club's colours and badge? Well, in future, fans will have to approve any major changes to their club's heritage. Now, that might all sound great, but do we really need it? Some say the downfall of Reading and Bury is an exception, not the rule. So as a whole, the most successful footballing pyramid in world football doesn't need regulation. They say it scares investors who can help grow the game. If those investors go elsewhere, well, the Premier League may no longer be the destination for the best players in the world. And others, well, they just don't trust politicians to appoint truly independent people to regulate our game.
Good morning, 4 minutes after 6 o'clock. How are we out there Thursday morning? talkSPORT breakfast with Arne Clarke. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. And have we got a new sponsor, Gillette, have we? You've had a little dig in the grave, haven't you?
I had to, mate. I was getting a bit out of hand, Al.
Head, nose, and
every bit, mate.
And chops.
Yeah, we had to get the ears done as well, the nose.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You should go, Al. No Turkish barbers, mate.
Oh, no, I don't like that flame.
Don't ya?
Nah.
Why?
No. There were goals galore in the Carabao Cup on talkSPORT last night. Whoa.
Palace 2 up, looking for a third here with Pino, and he's found it. The icing on Palace's considerable cake. They played their way back into form tonight quite superbly. Yet another defeat for Liverpool. They've lost 5 successive matches against English opposition. Is the end of the crisis in sight? Liverpool 0, Palace 3, as the Eagles make it through to the last 8.
Through to Harry Benedus. Newcastle 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Nick Voltemade, his 5th goal in 7. The holders are through. Disappointment for Tottenham Hotspur. They've gone out with a bit of a whimper here.
Swansea City 1, Manchester City 3. So Premier League quality told in the end, with the 8 times winners making the last 8.
That's going to fall nicely for Gittins. Oh, he scored! Unbelievable! And it's a 4th for Chelsea. What a bonkers game of football this is. It's another soft goal for Wolves to concede. An extraordinary 7-goal thriller.
Right away, Gab, bang, the standout one there is Liverpool.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd make many changes because the form that they've been in now. I thought he'd want to get a good result at home at Anfield as well. They've lost now 6 games since September the 27th, Liverpool. Imagine someone telling you that in the space of a month, Liverpool would lose 6 games. Who drops?
No Salah, no Van Dijk?
Everyone.
Really?
I think Kirkes was the only player that started.
He's the one who should have been dropped.
Exactly. So 10 changes are, but all of those 10 players that didn't start were not on the bench either. So the team was a mixture of like players that weren't starting Premier League games and youngsters, and the bench was youngsters. And you knew straight away with Crystal Palace's starting team, with the likes of Sarr starting and Nketiah and then Pino, that they were going to get the result. It was comfortable.
Liverpool fans wait for me later on. Arsenal, strength to strength, unbelievable. That's that squad they've got.
Yeah, but Arsenal can make 11 changes if they wanted to, Al. And look how strong they are.
Yeah.
Mascara, Marino, Wanyeri. These sort of players that need minutes, Dowman getting minutes again, these players probably will be saying to themselves, you know what, I should be starting in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So he's got so much more options, but that's down to Liverpool's business in the summer. Simple as that.
Yeah, 10 changes, Liverpool. I'm just reading. Gee,
yeah,
I went to bed early last night, Gab, because I felt my chest going, but I feel a lot better now with 11 hours sleep. Unbelievable.
Arsenal out, that Lewis Skelly, who's not been playing, Mascara, Ben White, Ranieri, Norgard, Marino, Dowman off the right. Eze started, but they had a chance to bring in fringe players that haven't been playing, but their big boys were on the bench. Saka come on, Trossard come on, Declan Rice come on, Gabriel and Timber come on. For Liverpool to have no first team players,
putting themselves under more pressure now?
I think so, yes, and I do get it to a certain degree. You've got a big week. Is it Arsenal? I mean, Aston Villa on Saturday night, 8 p.m. I'm sure it might be Tuesday or Wednesday. It's Real Madrid, isn't it? So 2 tough games, but to make that many changes and not have any of the first team players on the bench was very odd.
Yeah. Right. Also, 6 defeats in 7 games count against Villa, Real Madrid, Man City, as Gabby says. We'll take some calls later on. So you know the number, 03717 223344. You've got to ask what's going on. Now, up north of the border, big win for Celtic and a win for Rangers. Sets up the semi-final League Cup at the weekend.
Yeah, I was happy for Martin O'Neill as well. I mean, I've loved his interviews, Al, since he's got the job. I know him so well from being my favourite manager at Villa for 4 years. He just loves sort of taking the mick out of people, taking the mick out of Sean Maloney, you know. And he likes to have fun with the press, doesn't he? So it was a breath of fresh air seeing him doing interviews and getting a 4-0 win. Fantastic for him.
Yeah, let's hear from Martin now, because he said he had 10 minutes to make his mind up, didn't he? It took him. He said I couldn't hardly breathe. I was flabbergasted. This is what he said last night.
Well, first of all, I jokingly said, and maybe true, I have not been as nervous since I did 11 plus about the game, and I think I passed that when it was 48. Honestly, really concerned about the game, naturally. Concerned about the usual thing about, one, letting myself down, which I've done so many times untrue, but letting other people down here at the football club. Just coming in a bit of a whirlwind, and to play in the manner which we did, which I thought was great, and obviously the most important thing was winning the game. And I naturally couldn't be more pleased. I thought the players did.
Yeah, well done, Martin. Of course, big game. It's always a big game. People say, well, it's a League Cup semi-final. It doesn't matter. Celtic Rangers.
Oh, of course it is. And look at the way it's going at the moment. I mean, Rangers, that's back-to-back wins, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this fella might be all right, you know.
Yeah,
but
he's
I don't know how much restriction he's got in terms of money, but I think Danny Rowe will be okay. He looks fresh. He looks as if he knows what he's doing. I've spoken to a few people who say he does know what he's doing.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting.
And I think already, Al, Hearts dropping points last night.
Correct.
This is what we spoke about, didn't we? That this is why Celtic are favourites.
Well,
Hearts aren't used to being
honestly,
there.
I'm not just saying it, but yesterday I thought, I'm going to have a little bit on Celtic. And I spoke to Steve and I didn't like the price. So I didn't back them. But
For the league?
Yeah.
You look at it now. Goal difference is better for Hearts, but only 6 points looks a lot better than 8.
I wouldn't look at goal difference, Gab. Not in this one.
No, of course not.
Celtic have got to beat them at Parkhead, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then Rangers, look, if Rangers improve, they've got to play Hearts. So there's a lot can happen. But it's good for football.
Yeah, but as well, Al, St Mirren are no mugs. They can get a result.
Ali was going last night. He said that. He said this will be a tough game for Hearts. Okay, right. Are you really worried? Starting to doubt Arne Slot after a brilliant year last year? Give us a call, 03717 223344. By the way, just also in some of the other games, Newcastle keep their bus rolling, don't they? 2-0 over Tottenham.
Comfortable.
What about Chelsea? A goal thriller, 4. Wolves 3, Chelsea 4. That was a big game. Looking ahead, quarterfinals and looking ahead to the weekend's Premier games, it's cracking. Football, I don't want another international break, Gab.
Oh, no. I was trying to figure out what game to watch last night, so I watched Spurs in the end, Al, and they were ordinary. Simmons, again, poor. Richarlison,
I'm not sure about him. I think he's struggling.
Al, he's so weak. He spent the whole game on the floor.
Yeah.
He wants to play in the number 10. He plays number 10, doesn't perform. On the left, can't take a player on. Too weak. Doesn't create enough. Richarlison not holding the ball up, not really offering anything again. I don't know how they're where they are third in the Premier League, Spurs, because this month out they've got some very tough games. Starting on Saturday, Chelsea.
Yeah. Right, quarter-final draw. The League Cup, Man City at home to Brentford, Arsenal home to Palace, Cardiff at home to Chelsea, and Newcastle at home to Fulham. Right, coming up, we turn our attention to the back pages. A win for City, but did they impress? We'll find out. Yeah, Gabby's favourite. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Right, a bit of the Saturdays there, really. Then to get this Thursday morning going, but why are we playing this, Gab? Are you a fan of the Saturdays?
I love them, mate. Yeah, top hits.
Really?
Superstars.
Seen them a couple of times, yeah.
Pardon?
Is that Molly King's mob?
Who?
It is, yeah. See, he hasn't got a clue, has he? Well, but the reason why we're playing it,
Yeah.
Vanessa White of the Saturdays turns 36 today. Crikey,
Oh,
can you
happy
believe it?
birthday, Vanessa.
She's getting on a bit, isn't she? 36.
Yeah.
Of course, Molly King's a vital part, Gab, of the Saturday squad. A very good morning. Well, I'll say friend of the Brazil skiing family. They did, but Molly's a lot younger than my kids. But she did. I know the name, and I know she's been she's married to Broad, isn't she? Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, they tell me she's a lovely girl. Right, would you be any good at skiing, Gab?
No way. We weren't
Why?
allowed, was we, as footballers? You're not allowed to ski. It's in your contract.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've read every bit of your contract?
Every little bit, mate, before you
liar.
sign. But no, mate, I've got zero balance.
By the way, what's the contract anyway?
Oh.
Let's take a look at today's back page of Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle as a Pilates instructor? Stretch your budget with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Right, there you go. Let's look at today's back pages. And Olivia's with us. Olivia, good morning. Just saying
Morning,
you're lovely
Olivia.
and blonde and tanned.
So are you, Al?
A little bit of España?
Yeah, a little bit of Spanish sun.
What's deserved?
Yeah, I like to go away every international break, Al, because, so this
You
was the
got
last
in.
one. November's really, talkSPORT killed me, actually, because they've put me on Monday, Thursday international break.
Oh,
Usually it's
you're
Monday,
joking.
Tuesday, and I can get out of here on a Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
You could do it from Spain. Idea, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah, why
Host
not?
early breakfast from Spain. That'd be
not?
lovely, wouldn't
Just
it?
wondering, is the ISN, does it work as good as it does in Glasgow, Alan? Olivia, what we got?
Right, let's just start quickly with the back pages. Slot starstruck on the back of the Sun, Shooting Star on the back of the Mail, and Palace's hat-trick, Liverpool hat-trick on the back of the Times. Just quickly touching on that, you mentioned it at the top.
Yeah.
I don't think Arne Slot made any attempt to win that game yesterday, did he?
No, zero.
How will that go down with the fans?
I'm not sure they'll care, to be honest, as long as they beat Villa on Saturday. But it's a big if.
Villa come into form, haven't they?
You're all right.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Do you know what I mean?
Didn't you
We
lose
don't
didn't you
concede
lose-
3 to Wolves.
Didn't you lose in Europa League last week or
Yeah,
whatever?
but we were a bit tired resting players for Man
That's it,
City.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, nice.
Turn them over.
Yeah, you did, and that was actually a very good result. So we're not going to touch on Liverpool too much, but they are dominating the back pages. What I do want to talk about is Manchester City, though, because no Erling Haaland yesterday, and although they did win, they struggled so much without him. So what sort of team are Manchester City, Alan, without Erling Haaland?
Well, it's a good question. I was touching on it yesterday, and for me, they're too patient at times, especially when they're a goal down. When they're a goal down, I think they've got to be a little bit more adventurous. City have got some of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
But when you've got the best centre forward in the world, in my opinion, get him the ball. And he doesn't get the ball. Even when they're conceded and they're behind, they still go from right to left and then back left to right.
On the weekend.
Getting it forward.
Yeah, on the weekend, I mean, Konsa had Haaland in his pocket. First of all, what a defender Konsa is.
Yeah, I was going to say, but not a lot of defenders.
Service gap.
Yeah, but Al, because they're too slow. I was watching the game, Olivia, Alan, and I'm like, Man City are like they're playing a little keep ball game. First to 100 passes, gets a goal. And Aston Villa were just happy. Keep passing it, no problem. Win it back, and we're going to counter-attack. And City look poor, average.
Well, when you look at the games that City have lost, they obviously lost to Villa, lost to Brighton, lost to Spurs. They all play the same way. There is only really one way to beat Manchester City.
Yep.
And it has been since Pep's come, and we've seen it maybe more so last year and coming into this year as well. If you sit back and deny them space and deny the service into Haaland, because he's not the sort of striker that will create something himself, then you stop Manchester City. So have they been found out a little bit? And I assume Guardiola's going to carry on doing this because he's done it his whole career.
Well, Pep, he won't change.
No,
he won't change.
Does he have to change? No.
Depends what they want to win. If they want to be kings of Europe, if they want to be Premier champions, they might have to, yeah.
But you're right, though, because
Arsenal are there now.
Teams can work Manchester City out. Aston Villa, 3 wins in a row at home. 3 seasons in a row where Emery's got the better of Pep and understands what he's going to do. Got the tactics spot on to play against them. But watching that game, Olivia, honestly, I was like, how boring are you? Savinho gets the ball, doesn't take Matty Cash out, comes back, passes it. And it's like everyone's passing the ball to each other. No one's taking anyone on.
This is what I was talking about on Early Breakfast when Jason Cundy was saying about how football's changed and how it's not as exciting. And I was talking about exciting players that we just only have a few of now, in like Palmer in the Premier League and Yamal are those players that I love to watch personally. And I think Grealish was one of the names I brought up because at Aston Villa, he was one of those players for me that I absolutely enjoyed watching. When he went to City and became a little bit more restricted under Guardiola, we lost everything good about Jack Grealish.
100%. Savinho will still get half past the fullback, but his final ball lately has been terrible. Terrible.
Is that anything to do with the way that Pep wants them to play?
I think so, yeah.
Well, not when you get past the fullback, Gab. You've got to feel for, as you're about to... eye the fullback up. You're having a quick look in the box. Where's Alan? That must be your first thoughts. So when you get half a yard, you know if he's near post, far post, or in the middle. But
Doku does it.
It's not good enough.
Doku does it, but a lot of Pep's players, when they get it, take the player on. Mahrez used to at times. Do you know what I mean? Jack didn't as much as Manchester City, but it's frustrating in football together where I played as a winger half my career. When I got the ball, 1v1, I'm not turning back.
No.
I don't care who's there. I'm taking the fullback on every time.
Olivia, I don't know if you watched it. I was at an early night, but they tell me Max Dowman was fabulous last night.
Yeah, so I actually didn't watch the game up early.
I watched Spurs game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I watched.
Tell me Dowman was great.
Yeah, I think with Max Dowman, like, obviously he's Arsenal's youngest ever starter, and the future is bright, but I heard David Bentley call him the best youngster in world football.
Oh.
Come on.
Relax.
You've got, he's 15, right? So there's not actually many 15-year-olds you can compare him to, but you can compare him to 18-year-olds that are doing it in the Champions League week in, week out, like Lamine Yamal. You can't compare Max Dowman
to... If it was Arsenal, if it was Chelsea, what would you say?
Esteval, what? No, the future is... Oh, my gosh. Max, anytime I've watched him play, I cannot believe that kid is 15, right? But I think it's a little bit too early to maybe saying he's the best youngster.
Who's your team in Spain?
I'm Barcelona only because when I was growing up watching football, I loved Lionel Messi.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't?
What about Italy? What's your team?
I have teams all over Europe. I just loved watching Barcelona play growing.
Same.
So, and Messi. I
the
just
best ever team that was.
Oh my God, best ever side in club football.
By
and
far.
that's the reason. But now I can't really have a second team, can you, Al? It used to be Villa.
Really?
Oh God, I can't tell you the reason why.
Oh, why?
Oh, not Gabby.
No. Why?
It was something to do with one of the players, but he now knows about it, which is tragic.
Oh.
So,
let's break a bit later. What player?
When I was 15, right, I had a slightly...
Crush, yes.
Yeah, I had a bit of a crush on Lee Hendry.
Oh, did you?
I worked with him at Sky, right? And the Sky producers knew about it. And it was one of my mates. And he was like, "Can I tell him?" I was like, "Now listen."
How did they know about it?
Because I was like, "Oh," he was like, "Oh, you're working with Lee Hendry tonight." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's hilarious." I used to really fancy him when I was 15. And he told him, and it was the most embarrassing. I could just feel myself going. So he got up in the break. He was like, "Do you want anything, Liv?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine." Like, so do you want my autograph? Do you want a signed picture? And I was like, and then he put love hearts all over my notes and signed it. And
what a nice guy.
He didn't say that. Do you want my autograph? Did he?
Yeah.
That's nice, though.
Yeah, because he knew I was a big fan.
Exactly.
So.
Seen you do that over London Bridge, Gab.
He's good.
They do that.
I didn't.
Hey, who? Sorry, what? Lee Hendry. Well, I think we'll have a little break on that. There you go, Olivia. Thank you. Right, what we got? Right. Looking at the back pages, brilliant for Tesco Mobile for Business. Coming up, right, here we go. We're going to turn our attention to the Arsenal and just how special a talent Max Dowman is. Unfortunately, 3 of us didn't see him play last night. But Ray Parlour's told me. Party Parlour said, this kid has got everything. Fantastic. Arteta's a huge fan. That's coming next.
Something very rare to see. So let's look after him because we have a huge talent there.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle as a Pilates instructor? Stretch your budget with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big 3 networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Bazball, England's approach to Test cricket under Kiwi coach Brendan McCullum. What is it really, and is it working? We've had a look. Is it just aggressive batting? That is a big part of it. Test teams around the world are scoring faster all the time, but the Bazballers are the fastest scoring Test team ever.
Absolutely useless. Honest to God.
Handicap. Mike's on.
Useless.
6:32. talkSPORT breakfast with me, Brazil Gabby, and our good friends at Arne Clarke get $7.50 off any used car, electric car or home charger. $7.50 off. Now, it's our biggest competition yet. Listen up. We're giving you a chance to play to win up to £100,000. 100 grand, yep. It's talkSPORT's biggest cash prize ever. £100,000 completely tax-free. Gabby used to spend that in one weekend down in Vegas, but if that's how you want to spend it, then go for it. Have a go. If you're the lucky winner, the excitement doesn't stop there. You'll also be coming to talkSPORT Towers on Thursday, 13th of November, to play for that life-changing cash prize. Lovely. Here's how to enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Right, it was another game, another win for the Arsenal, and another clean sheet this time in the Carabao Cup over Brighton. The Gunners move into the quarterfinals, but the night was stolen by 15-year-old star Max Dowman, 15, who was sensational by all accounts. Manager Mikel Arteta spoke about Dowman after the game and his sparkling performance.
It's incredible. He does it in a really natural way. He's courage, he's brave, he takes people on straight away. He's like he's playing in his garden. You know, it's something very rare to see. So let's look after him because we have a huge talent there.
I like that. It's like playing in his garden.
That's the sort of winger.
No fear.
Yeah, that's the sort of winger he is. And you look at the competition as well. He's got, even at 15, to try and break into that side. Saka, who's number one, obviously, Madueke, Wanyeri, all can play on that right-hand side. But he's got such a bright future. And it's good that Arteta's bringing him in, taking him out, bringing him in. Probably won't make the squad for maybe some of the Premier League games. But this competition's big for players like him to compete in.
Let's get a bit more on this and cross over to former Arsenal midfielder who's still trying hard in his garden, Adrian Clarke. Clarkey, morning.
Morning, Adrian.
Always, yeah. Good morning, boys. All right?
Good. And you got to be delighted being a gunner at the moment. And another cracking victory.
Yes. It could have gone pear-shaped early on. I've got to say, Brighton had 2 or 3 massive chances. And you thought, wow, this could be an upset, because obviously Mikel Arteta had made 10 changes and there was a little bit of sort of lack of chemistry really between the players early on, and Arsenal, boy, did they make Brighton pay for spurning those opportunities. And then, the longer the game went on, the stronger they got. And I'm glad you brought up Max Dowman, because he was scintillating out on that right-hand side. The interesting thing is, guys, he's not even a right winger. He's come through the ranks. He's really probably somebody that wants to play in Martin Odegaard's position or Eberechi Eze's in that sort of number 10 role. But
what's his biggest assets then, Clarkey? What's he really excelling?
What doesn't he excel in? He has got explosive speed when travelling with the ball at his feet. So he's got beautiful balance. And I always think that's a great sign of a quality young player. So he can just drop a shoulder and go. But then when he travels with the ball, he leaves fullbacks or defenders in his wake. He is absolutely a rapid dribbler. And then, of course, you look for his decision making, and I think it reminds me of Bukayo Saka's decision making when he came through. You thought, wow, a 17-year-old shouldn't be this calm in the big moments, but it looks like Dowman's got that temperament as well. So the world is his oyster. There's nothing he can't achieve, I don't think, at the moment.
Is it a problem now, and you'll know this, Clarkey, is it a problem now that he's getting this acclaim and yet he's not playing regular?
No, but he's got plenty of time to play regular, hasn't he?
I mean, what it's like when you feel you're good enough, you don't care about your age.
Yeah.
And Mikel Arteta is respecting his talent. There are a lot of managers out there that wouldn't even consider playing a 15-year-old, someone it's not 16 for another, 60 odd days. They wouldn't even dream of it. He's not even taking his GCSEs. It's ridiculous. But so I don't think that's an issue with Arteta. He will judge things on his merits. And I have to say, every time I've seen him in pre-season and during the competitions proper, he's been electrifying. He's there on merit. This isn't a token, let's give this kid some experience.
Yes.
He's there because he's good enough to impact the matches. I've never seen a talent like it. I saw Cesc Fabregas come through at Arsenal. He was unreal. Bukayo Saka, very, very special. But I do think that Max Dowman, is on a level maybe above even those two at this stage. Doesn't mean that he's going to go on and win the Ballon d'Or and be have a sensational career, but he's got the talent. The talent is honestly phenomenal.
How important as well, though, that other players like Wanyeri getting to start and scoring, that would have meant a lot for him. Ben White getting to game time, Mascara, Lewis Skelly, Norgard, Marino.
Yeah, the risk paid off. He made 10 changes, but it all turned out nicely. And yeah, look, because they'll all be needed. We've all seen Arsenal's sort of luck with injuries in recent seasons. They will all be needed at some point, and they came in, and some did better than others. I think Ethan Nwaneri really stepped up. He scored a great goal. I don't know if you saw the goal. It's a lovely sort of team move.
Yes.
He had, I think, 7 shots in the game. So he was really busy looking to get forward from midfield. So, yeah, step forward for him. There was a full debut yesterday for Andre Harriman, a new 17-year-old. He did really well. He almost scored. And then Saka got a goal from the rebound. So, look, Hale End, is stepping up. The academy that they've got at Arsenal is functioning brilliantly, and the scouts as well, I think, deserve a bit of credit, because these kids have been spotted at a very early age, and the talent pool is massive. And obviously when you add that to what the first team are doing at the moment, it is pretty exciting. I've got to say, it is hard at the moment, I think, for Arsenal supporters.
Well, Arsenal go to Burnley, which will be a fight at the weekend, and also I'm just looking at Bournemouth, looking at the table. Clarke, he's second top, magnificent. They go to City, so this is not going to be easy for City.
No, not at all. No, they've got the tools, haven't they? Like in Semenyo and Krupi and Kluivert. They've got these players, explosive players that could hurt City. But look, when you've got Erling Haaland, you've always got a chance of winning games, haven't you? So I'd make City favourites for that. But it's a big game, isn't it? And it's not an easy one for Bournemouth. I think we all know what sort of match Burnley-Arsenal's going to be. Burnley are going to put, it'll be 5-4-1 or 5-5-0, and they're going to ask Arsenal to break them down. So they're just going to have to find the answers.
Adrian, previous seasons, maybe Arteta will look at this competition, the Carabao Cup, and maybe not really too bothered about maybe not getting to the latter stages. But I think he needs it now. With the squad of players he's got, Liverpool didn't need it because the manager's moaning about the squad he's got, but he needs it. You're looking at Havertz and Gabriel Jesus coming back, and the squad they played last night. These players need games.
Yeah, I remember when Arsenal were in the Europa League, it was a good tool because it gave the players that were out of the first team game time, and then when they were needed, they weren't completely rusty. And I think that the Carabao Cup can be that for Arsenal. I do think that normally the teams with the biggest depth, the deepest squad, tend to do well in the League Cup. So, yeah, look, it might not be the priority of the fans, it might not be the priority for Arteta, but until he wins, another trophy, it's a long time since that FA Cup win. People are going to keep bashing him, so why not try and win the first one? What I will
especially
say,
the squad they have now, Clarke.
Look, Arsenal really should be winning major trophies this season. They're certainly good enough to do that. I do think they've had one of the hardest draws possible, though. I mean, barring probably Newcastle or City away, Palace at home is not easy. I was at that game at the weekend. I think Palace were the best team Arsenal played this season. They organised, aren't they? So hard to do anything on the ball because they're in your face and very well organised. So yeah, I think that there's no gimme that Arsenal get through that. But look, the whole club is absolutely vibrant at the moment, and I've been on this station many times when it's been a bit miserable. So I'm really pleased that how well it's going at the minute. It's fantastic.
Yes, Adrian, nice one. Thank you, Adrian. Join us. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Adrian. Clarke there on his beloved Arsenal. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Gab, have you had your paddle game yet, Simon?
We are playing next Wednesday.
Right, in Canary Wharf.
Yes, we are.
I might try and come see that.
Lovely, mate.
I can watch from the outside, can't I?
Yes, you can, mate. Seating available. Yes.
Oh, is there?
Go for a bit of lunch after?
Yeah. Now, Gabby, don't worry, because we're going to sort your paddle game out. Team GB paddle player Nick Il Mohindra will be with us, and he'll be giving you some much-needed tips ahead of your partnership with Simon Jordan.
Much needed.
I've no idea. Oh, much needed. Sorry, I thought you said what's needed. Well, up next, do Chelsea have a Oh, mind you, Simon's away at the moment, isn't he? So he might be whipping it up. He might come back a little bit out of shape.
I bet he'll be playing, won't he?
Yeah, probably. Up next, do Chelsea have a discipline problem? Do they need better leadership out on the pitch? We'll discuss that after this, of course, to take on Spurs at the weekend. That was a look ahead with our good friends at Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Okay, 12 minutes to 7 o'clock. Gabby's alongside me. Right, what do we know this Thursday morning? I'll tell you what we know. Jamie Redknapp has criticised Arne for making 10 changes in the defeat to Palace last night. Jamie said it was the wrong team, make no mistake. He said on Sky Sports post-match, "You've not made it easy for the young players because of the team and players around them." Martin O'Neill returned to the Celtic dugout after 7,000, just under 7,500 days, and started with a big 4-0 victory over Falkirk. And a pair of headers from Fabian Schär and Nick Voltemad sent holders Newcastle into the Carabao Cup quarter-finals at expense of Spurs. Big result at Newcastle. They'll be eyeing up Wembley again. Yep. Eddie Howe was filled with praise, though, for the man who replaced Isak Voltemad after the game.
Yeah, I think we're slowly improving. I still say there's a lot of growth and a lot of room for more improvement, but I think we're getting to understand his game and where he wants the ball and how he's going to score his goals. Great to see him score another header today. They're all big moments for him. They all elevate his confidence levels, and every striker needs to feel good.
I like him, Gab. I think he's there's no frills about him.
Yes.
He's a target man. He's a bit better than a target man. He's got a good touch. He's strong. Yeah. Get the ball in the box and he'll get his head on it.
And his teammates will be getting used to how he plays. You can't be playing balls in behind for him. He's not that sort of player. He can go through games where he doesn't touch the ball enough for me, but he will come off, link up play, and straight away when you put a cross in the box, he's going to win that. So he's a big threat for Newcastle.
So what of the draw? The draw was made for the quarterfinals last night. It's Arsenal against Palace, Cardiff against Chelsea, Man City against Brentford, and Newcastle against Fulham. So 4 good games there. Okay, you'd expect Chelsea to be the favourable one, but Cardiff went up to Wrexham and won, didn't they? So it's interesting. Coming up 10 minutes to 7, now it's time for, a bit of this.
If you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. All the things.
She's gone from bronze to red. Olivia Hendry is back with us now.
I love you, Lee. I love you.
Why are we playing Simply Red, Olivia?
Yeah, we're playing Simply Red. If you don't know me right now, the key is in the name Red. What we do know, Al, it's not what we don't know, it's what we do know. And that is that Chelsea cannot seem to learn how to play with 11 players on the pitch. Another red card last night. Liam Delap picking up 2 yellow cards in the space of 7 minutes, which we'll look at the effect that may have on the Spurs game. But first of all, his boss, Enzo Maresca, said he had no complaints about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely correct. Red card. It's a stupid red card because in 7 minutes we consider 2 yellow cards that we can avoid, and we have to avoid that.
Look at that.
Yeah. Listen, I didn't see it, but Delap for me, he's an aggressive type of player, but he's not over aggressive. So
no, he does like to put himself about.
Challenges?
Yeah, there were 2 completely perfect fine yellow cards, and I think that's why Maresca's got no complaints. That's now 6 red cards in 9 games.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good, but Maresca also said after the game, he's trying to look at it, they are all very different, right? So I look at the United one, which was Robert Sanchez in the 4th minute, a stupid decision that he didn't need to make. That's on him, right? The same as Chalobah against Brighton, start the second half, Chelsea cruising. That's also a split decision that you just got wrong in the moment. However,
do the players not have a go at them? Say, guys, what are you doing?
They must
What are you doing? All you're doing is making it harder for us. Stop it.
Yeah, they must do now, because Enzo Maresca came out and said he doesn't fine the players. They have their own little fine system.
It used to be like in your contract, it was like a week's wage if you got sent off.
I think it should get into that now.
Maybe
I don't
double
know if
it.
that's
Maybe
the same
double
now,
it. If like you're getting 6 red cards out of 9, maybe put a 2-week wage. Fine.
I mean, maybe that would stop. I mean, I look at the João Pedro one in the last minute against the Benfica game, literally like the 97th minute when we were winning. Then Liverpool, if you count the Maresca one, I'm not sure if you can, but we are counting it. 6 in 9, Maresca running down the touchline. Gusto, 3-0 up against Forest, cruising, stupid. And Liam Delap, winning against Wolves, stupid. But also, Okay, some of them had an effect on the game, Brighton and Man United. Luckily, the others didn't have an effect on the result. But what's annoying Chelsea fans is now it could have an effect on the Spurs game because Liam Delap's out of that game.
The problem is, as a manager, do you risk playing a player in a big game? As the games get bigger and more important, if you're touch and go, who'd I play here, him or him? That might go against you.
Who's least likely to get sent off?
I can't trust him, so I'll play him.
But at the moment, he can't trust anyone.
No, but I think you're right with Liam Delap. You've been out injured for a long time.
Missed him so much.
You come
as
back
well.
and the second yellow, it's obvious. You can't look and then jump with your arm into a defender like that. Just very stupid and such a big game for Chelsea against Spurs, big rivals.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it's down to? Do you think it's down to naivety? Do you think it's down to a lack of experience?
I think...
or is it a mix? But do you think it is a discipline problem when you look at the
discipline, Olivia, but at the same time, Chelsea are fighting for the starting 11, aren't they? Players, and they're trying to impose themselves and maybe just over-trying. Sometimes you do things that are not as natural and it gets you in trouble.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
You can have some that are accidental, can't you? All the red cards on purpose. I know Sanchez won against Man United. He's trying to do what's natural to him to come out and try and stop the Mbuma running through. But some of them, I'm just like...
Some of them are so
I'd be like,
stupid.
if I was the manager, I'd be like, yeah, maybe that one not. But you, 2 weeks' wages...
The problem is, Gab and Olivia, is if you're on a yellow, you've got to be careful. But at the same time, if it's a 50-50 challenge...
You've got to go in.
I've watched Liverpool lately, and they're not interested in 50-50 challenges. They lose against Brentford. Brentford were winning everything.
Yes.
Second balls, 50-50s. I'm like, come on. I'm looking at Liverpool players saying, not get your foot in. That's the wrong word in today's game. But, compete.
You've got to find a balance, haven't you?
Yeah,
You've got to find a
but
balance.
if you're on a yellow, you can't really compete because I think the standard of reffing at the moment is diabolical.
And some red cards in the future for Chelsea, there might be ones where the manager's like, no, I didn't deserve to be a red. You went in for a good 50-50 and the referees give you a red, which is not a red. But if I was the manager, I'd say, listen, the next player to get a red card, you're going to get a nice little envelope with a 2-week fine. Yeah. Stop, because like you says, it kills you for the next game against Spurs.
And that is the game that Chelsea fans look out for the most, right? Spurs away. That's the one that Chelsea fans love. And Chelsea have been lucky enough over the last however many years to have beaten Spurs most times, right? Yeah. Home and away.
You are below them in the league.
That's not my point, Gavin.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Sorry, John.
Sorry, this lady is stats.
Sorry, let you finish.
Providing information.
Yeah, what's up with you today? You get on with everyone.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the table. Just carry on. Sorry.
But also, they're very good at away. Spurs weren't last night, but very good away. But their home form has been awful. They've won one game at home this season.
I know, Aston Villa beaten recently.
Yes.
Olivia, I'm going to move on to Liverpool now. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Right, a big thanks to Olivia. What about Spurs? We're just touching on it. Gabby's already hammered Richarlison's performance last night.
So poor.
Alex, the Tottenham fan, has called us. We're talking about moody and grumpy. And I'm talking about Gabby. 03717 223344. Alex, morning, welcome.
Good morning, Alex.
Morning. How you doing? All right?
Yeah, good, mate. So you got Chelsea coming up. Can you trust Richarlison up front?
No, we can't at all. And let's look at Frank. To sum him up over the period of the first few months, he's done all right, and we look a lot more solid than we did under Ange, and that's a good thing. But he's still got the tools, some of the tools that Ange had to work with, and one of them that doesn't work is Richarlison. And like you just said, Alan, his head's down. I was really closer on the pitch when I was up there at Bodo watching him, and you could see him, like his mannerisms and his sulking, and the boy's got some issues, and I don't think he's going to like this when they hear it, but he's garbage when he's in that frame of mind, and you don't need that. Leading from the front, you really don't need someone like that.
The other problem I've got with him, Alex, is that...
What's that?
When he starts and he does zero and he gets taken off, he's got that face on him looking at the manager like, why have you taken me off? Because you've done nothing. You haven't held the ball up. No threat in behind. You're getting bullied. You're not offering anything.
Why is he starting him then? That's what I don't get, because Tottenham aren't a team that win a lot of trophies, and okay, Newcastle away is not an easy fixture, but you'd have thought we'd have perhaps given it more of a go. But you're starting with him, and it's not that energy you need there up front when you're away from home, especially when you're playing in that style.
Who else have you got though?
Midfielders.
Moani.
Well, we've got Moani, yeah, exactly, and I'd throw him up there before Richarlison. And where's our academy players? I mean,
you're right.
you got Scarlett. We've got one of the best academies in the league, and they ain't getting a look in. So there's a lot of work to do at Tottenham as well.
It's weird, Alex, at home struggle, away from home, as Olivia pointed out. Really good, but look, Chelsea's the bogey side. Maybe Tottenham can sort that out at the weekend. We shall see. So. Alex, I take your point. I think he has got issues, and yet he's got ability when he's up for it. Some of his finishes, some of the goals he's scored.
It's not enough though, Al.
No,
where Spurs want to go.
I feel for him because he's better than what he's proven. He's better. He's a lot better than what he's shown us. Coming up, we turn our attention back to Liverpool and speak to a fan who thinks the current situation at the club is unprecedented, and a loss at Villa on the weekend would pile the pressure more on Arne Slot. The fans are not happy. 03717 22 3344 if you want to have your say.
We need to get Arne Slot out because he is absolutely murdering the legacy.
Arne Slot out? You want him out?
Get him out.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Coming up 5 minutes past 7 o'clock Thursday morning, talkSPORT Breakfast with Gabby and Arne Clarke. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Now on the way this morning. 3-time Six Nation winner Danny Kerr will be with us ahead of England against the Aussies on Saturday at Twickenham. Gab, you been there?
I haven't, no.
It's great. It's a great day out.
It's on the bucket list, mate.
I mean, a great day out. It is. Scotland, England, any of the big games there is brilliant. It really is.
England, Scotland.
George Ford was named 10. We'll also ask him about his best pal, Joe Marler. Joe's doing well, isn't he? Joe going for... Well, yeah, he's listen, he could win it, as far as I'm concerned.
Worst paddle player I'd ever see.
Joe?
Oh.
Well, when did you play against him?
In a paddle competition.
Really?
He was on my team. Horrendous. So.
Yeah, but he's a good lad, isn't he?
Oh, he's hilarious.
He's daft as a brush.
Yes.
He's a good lad.
Great guy.
He could win it, I hope so. Could have been a return to the ring for our former two-time champion Amir Khan. Why, you say? Well, he has called out Manny Pacquiao for one final fight of his career. Amir will join us to tell us exactly why. Now big in promotion. We'll be sorting out Gabby's paddle game with Team GB paddle player Nick Il-Mohindra.
So many questions.
Don't miss that. But, Gabby, you got to be able to... If you're not good at tennis, you're not good at paddle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah,
well, paddle's a bit of squash as well.
Well, yeah, but same squash the same, innit? You've got to have that flow.
So you saying I've not got it because I'm not good at tennis?
I don't think you have got it, Gab, to be honest.
But I'm learning, mate. Can't I learn to be good at something?
You're too old.
What?
You're too old. I told you, you showed me a video, and as soon as Simon hit a ball, he can play.
So I'm too old to play paddle. Cheers, Al.
At a decent level, yeah.
Hey, mate, thanks for putting me down.
I'd stick to badminton, because that shuttlecock is slower.
Shuttle what?
Cock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I've already talked about Simon. it's slower in the air, so you can get to the.
So it's better for people of my age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, mate. Thanks for the advice.
Anyway, we'll try and sort Gabby's game out. All that to come and more. But now Liverpool were again, well, I'm afraid, beaten again last night. 3-0 by Palace in the Carabao Cup. However, manager Arne Slot made the headlines for this rather bizarre team selection. Van Dijk, Konate, Sloboslai, Gapko, Wirtz, Salah, Ekitike. They were all rested as Arne named a team full of fringe players and youngsters. He named 3 teenagers in the starting lineup and a further 5 amongst his subs as he made 10 changes from the team that was beaten 3-2 in the league at Brentford on Saturday. Arne explained his decision after the defeat.
You have every option where you can choose from, but reality is also that there are probably a lot of reasons why we haven't won, why we've lost 5 out of 6. None of them are enough to make up for the fact that we've lost so many. But it's also clear that in the last few weeks we always had to play 2 days after we played our last game, after a difficult away game in Europe. So when we did that, we've lost Alexander Isak. The last League Cup game we played, we lost Giovanni Leone. And we got a red card with Hugo Ekitike. Now, if you look at the upcoming week that's coming up, that is going to be a big week for us, for the club, for everyone. Then we need as much players available for that game as we can.
Notwithstanding the fact that you have made a lot of changes today, it is another defeat and a disappointing second half performance. Does that add to the pressure? Do you feel that for the big games that are coming up, there's a danger that you will be playing the situation now as well as the opposition on the back of 6 defeats in 7?
I don't think there's a big difference between 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7. Both are not acceptable at a club like Liverpool. So yeah, if it's 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7, both is far from the standards we want.
Arne Slot speaking to talkSPORT's Jim Proudfoot there. Right, here we go. This is what I make of it. So Man United went to Anfield and beat them. Liverpool didn't really get going, and then they started pressing and throwing the kitchen sink at United. And then Harry pops up with a winner. So it wasn't a disaster. So what I'm saying is, I've got down on my sheet here, is this the first time we've seen him cracking under pressure? Well, I'm not sure he is cracking under pressure.
I'm concerned, Al.
But he's made 10 changes. And maybe that's a kick up the backside one or two of them need. So I'm not saying that he's cracking under pressure.
What I felt that he done wrong is 10 changes. Could he have made 5 or 6 changes and still have more experienced players to help the young players? You can't just go and throw so many young players in the starting team and the bench. They need more help from the senior players. But I look at Liverpool now, 14 Premier League goals conceded in the league.
Yeah.
Only 5 teams have conceded more than that. That's Liverpool we're talking about, with Konate, with Alisson, who's obviously been injured, Van Dijk.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Not acceptable.
Gabby, I've written 3 things down here, and I don't want you to repeat myself, because I like Slot, and I think he will get it right. But Arsenal looks strong, 50-50s, they're not competing. The second ball, the ball bouncing about, the opposition, like Brentford, were on it first. Yes. They wanted it more. And no urgency in Liverpool when they have the ball, try to get back in games. They're still knocking it about nicely.
Very slow, isn't it?
No urgency at all. So
totally agree.
It's quite clear to me. I'm saying something's changed here. What is wrong? I'm not pressing the panic button yet, but I'm saying, this is weird. From champions to this.
But you know what he's got to stop doing now? Some of his interviews that he's having, he's coming out with some whoppers. Yesterday he says, we haven't got a big squad like Chelsea. Well, you spent £420 million. Why haven't you? No one's going to feel sorry for you when the amount of money you spent as Liverpool manager and haven't got the players.
Let's get a little bit more on this now. Cross over to a huge Liverpool fan and writer, Dave O'Connell, who's described the situation at Anfield as unprecedented right now. Dave joins us now. Dave, a very good morning. Nice to speak,
morning, Dave.
Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Gabby.
It's a weird one, Dave, isn't it? You know, Arne comes in and works wonders, and then suddenly you're scratching your head with Liverpool this season.
Yeah, I think weird is a good way of describing it, Alan. Absolutely, it has been unprecedented. We've seen Liverpool put in performance that we haven't seen for a long time. I think we've lost, as I said, 6 out of the last 7. But yeah, the second balls, you said it there. I think we're facing over 50 long balls in the last number of Premier League games, and we're just struggling I think Alisson has been probably the biggest loss at the moment, and the confidence he gives to the back line. And I think Van Dijk and Kanate, they're still trying to find a bit of rhythm with Marshashvili. So, yeah, it's just been difficult, and we've offered little in attack as well. Obviously, we've signed Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike, and at the moment, the jury is out if both of them can fit into the same 11. Ekitike was probably coming in to learn off Isak. However, we've been overly dependent on Ekitike and his goals. So it's just been a difficult run of games. I think in the midfield, we haven't been as shored up as we were last season. So obviously we missed out on Mark Gahey on the final day of the transfer window, and I think that's been a huge loss for us. You could see even how impressive he was last night. He's very calm on the ball. He's a ball-playing centre-half. And I think, we spent 400 million, but we still haven't filled the gap that we needed in the centre-back line. We obviously haven't gotten what we needed from the new signings, but along with that, players like Van Dijk and Salah, they haven't hit the heights that they did last season either. So there's been
struggling. Yeah,
Dave, it's so strange though, because of Liverpool's last 3 or 4 seasons, how good defensively they've been. Teams would go to Anfield and be scared to take on Van Dijk, scared to take on Kanate, dropping players back, not committing players forward. And you look at this season, no clean sheet in the last 10 games. Conceded first in 7 consecutive games. Surely as a team you're saying to yourself, come on, clean sheet this game, but they can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Milos Kerkez is still trying to find his feet as well. He's been targeted down the left side. He was obviously a very prominent player for Bournemouth, but I think, obviously coming into Liverpool and a team Liverpool's stature, I think he feels that he's not playing with the same confidence as he did in Bournemouth, and obviously the pressure from a big club, and obviously he's trying to impress his teammates, number one, and the fans, number two. But I think that's been a difficult start for him, and they've targeted him as well also. So yeah, it just hasn't worked so far this season. And you guys touched on it, the amount of money that's been spent. It's crazy to think that we spent 400 million and we're trying to find where we're going to get some goals and how we're going to shore up the back line. But
how do you see the Villa game going? Anfield, because Villa will go there with no fear, won't they?
100%.
Yeah, but of course Villa are on an upward trajectory at the moment, and Liverpool are struggling. So after Matty Cash's goal against Man City at the weekend, Liverpool are, it's going to be a difficult game, and the pressure will come on Arne Slot if there's another Premier League defeat. I can see why he changed the team last night, because of the amount of money that was spent. Even if Liverpool were to go on and win the Carabao Cup this season, it wouldn't alleviate the pressure on him. Therefore, I suppose they have to just really prioritise the Premier League at the moment. I think he'll get it right as well, but it might take a little bit of time. Hopefully we won't be too far behind Arsenal when that happens.
Yeah, Villa's record's not great at Anfield, but I'm sure the manager, Unai Emery, will have confidence with how Liverpool have been playing. But before the international break, you play Liverpool Saturday, then you play Real Madrid at home on Tuesday in the Champions League, then to finish, you play Man City away. 3 big games for Arne Slot.
Yeah, they're massive games. I think Liverpool need at least 2 victories, and that even one loss amongst them games will just ramp up the pressure. But I do think Slot is the right man to turn it around. But these are 3 of the biggest fixtures that Liverpool have faced in a long time, and they're coming at a very, very difficult time as well. So yeah, they need at least 2 victories in these 3 games. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Dave, we'll talk again. Thank you very, very much. It's a bit of a puzzle what's going on there. Dave O'Connell there, Liverpool writer. Right, Olivia coming next. We'll talk Celtic's victory over Falkirk last night, and we'll talk Padel as well. Okay, 7:20. Today sees a talkSPORT Daily Podcast takeover as Darren Bent Flex and sports fashion writer Daniel Miller, is that right? Strange one. Bring you a very special episode discussing the influence black culture, fashion and music has had on modern day football, from Ian Wright to Clinton Morrison to Raheem Sterling. Gabby, across the years, we've seen so many important black figures on the sport of football, but one in particular stands out for Flex.
I feel like there's this unwritten rule, especially in black culture, that Thierry Henry is like your icon. Like, he's your idol. Like, it doesn't, like, maybe Spurs fans might disagree and say, he ain't mine. You know what I mean? Like, black Spurs fans might be like, no. But I feel like there's an understanding amongst black culture that what Thierry Henry was doing when he got to Arsenal, with high socks above the knees, mercurial vapors, in the league, wearing gloves, almost like feels like he was wearing gloves at all times. He had me in playgrounds like putting on gloves when it was hot. Do you know what I mean? Wearing vapors when I'm not fast. Do you know what I mean? Putting socks over my knees like I got a swag and like I got skills and that. I ain't got none of that. I just want to look like him. I want to play like him. That arrogance.
There you go. Gabby, who was your biggest influence?
I think growing up, well, obviously watching Aston Villa, likes of watching Dion Dublin, I thought like he was a great player. But the one player I will say out has to be Thierry Henry. I remember being a kid and saying to my agent, please can you get me vapors? Being in the Aston Villa Academy saying, please, I want the vapors, like Thierry Henry.
Ian Wright was a player, wasn't he?
Yeah, of course,
Wright was a player.
Yeah, right, he was top, but mine was Thierry. Wanted to put my socks over my knees. I remember in the academy, putting my socks over my knees, but the socks were that bad. After 30 seconds, they'll fall down. But Thierry, definitely one of the best players to play in the Premier League for sure.
Gab, where are you? And this could be a bit controversial, so I've got to be careful because people are touchy. Where are you with the Mobos and black footballers and the history of black? Should we not just move on now, or you still think it's very important?
Do you know what, Al? It's important because you look at 2 months ago when Semenyo was racially abused by a fan at Anfield, and Liverpool were fantastic. Police got rid of the fan. I'm sure they banned him for life. But because we're still seeing it at games now where players don't feel safe to go and play their football and getting racially abused. I actually saw an interview that Semenyo did about it, and he said that he was so down, he was questioning himself, he was like, why? And that's the effect that it has on players when they receive it.
That day, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was outstanding in the game, and he even says he wanted to do something crazy during the game, but didn't, and he done it the right way because he wanted to lose his head. He wanted to go after the fan. He wanted to maybe come off the pitch, but he kept playing. And also, these players are getting even worse than ever on social media, and there's no way of stopping it on social media. You've got Elon Musk who just lets it be free speech, say what you want. So it's definitely still important, yeah.
Yeah, and if I was to say, well, don't do social media, is that wrong? Because that's the way I feel. If I'm getting upset with social media, which I don't do,
yes,
then I wouldn't do it.
No, 100%. But then what if social media for some of the players can bring in so much help for them? You know, they want to show their fans what they're doing, family members. So, and why should they not have to be on it because some idiot's going to racially abuse them? I get it on social media all the time. Yeah, all the time, because people can open an account out so easy, racially abuse you, then just like cancel that account, do another one. And no one's really going to chase that person's account and like hold them to any discipline. So it's something that has to be addressed. But these social media companies, they just turn a blind eye. That doesn't bother them.
Okay, right. Speaking of Thierry Henry, great player. Time now for this.
Property, proper song.
Hold on a minute.
What's this?
Proper song. You're a Villa man.
Something about this song though, I like it. Do you like it, Al? Ever.
For me. Olivia's back. Olivia, what's this got to do with Villa and Lee Hendry?
I should never said anything.
Why are we playing this? You should never say it in front of me.
No.
What do you call him?
I've learned that. Once, Alan, I've learned my lesson. So.
You call him Lee or do you call him Henders?
I call him Lee.
Oh, because his nickname's Henders.
What would you think he'd prefer me to call him?
Henders.
Henders.
Yeah.
Next time I see him, I'll say hi, Henders.
He golf, doesn't he? He's a bit of a golfer.
Yeah, loves golf.
My charity
Yes.
events and
Top
stuff.
guy.
We are playing North London forever because there is an article about how Mikel Arteta is trying to improve the Arsenal atmosphere. Now, you obviously hammered Spurs' atmosphere at half time, the song, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, hammered that. Now, Mikel Arteta is doing a few things. So let me just run you through what his plans are. So one of them has already been done. They removed the tunnel cover to, allow fans to like connect with the players as they're walking through. So that was one thing they did. Mikel Arteta asked fans to arrive early for their Crystal Palace game on the weekend to create a buzz. They changed the goal announcements. So the announcer says the player's name and then the fans get to repeat the name after.
Love it.
Yeah. Light shows before games.
Love it.
Atletico Madrid in the Champions League was a good example of that. This is quite a good one. I think quite, not a controversial one, but in the second half, so obviously when fans go down into the concourse to get beers, to get drinks, whatever, they've stopped playing the second half on the TVs.
So
the
they get
only
back to
way, however,
like
right,
that.
I don't think that helps the atmosphere. Even if they come back to their seats, there's no guarantee that those fans are going to make any noise. And I actually think that whilst Arteta is doing all these little things to try and help improve the atmosphere, does he have to understand that some fans just go to football for the social?
Well, especially, Olivia, the corporate side of it. Whether it be Wembley,
Yeah.
Tottenham,
What's that like, Al?
whatever. Wembley's nice.
Oh, it's great.
When we're talking with the corporate, they're always last in the seats because, they've got wine and...
You can't drink. You
whatever.
can't drink out there, can you?
No, so they want to finish it, and I don't know if I missed
put it in
2 minutes.
put it in a coffee cup.
Oh,
So I
no,
used to do.
that's illegal.
No, I
Olivia.
didn't do that. No, I didn't do that. No, that's just an idea. If yeah.
Can we dump that?
Yeah.
Listen, the lady's been honest here.
Yeah. Thanks, Al.
I do it all the time.
Free speech.
But no, Olivia, seriously, I know what he's trying to do, yeah. And look, why not? If he tries these ideas, I wasn't sure about in training when he had you never walk alone.
No, I think that went a bit far because also they lost that game 4-0. That was even worse.
But I do think that Premier League clubs have to do better with the atmosphere.
But how, Gabby?
European,
How?
because European teams, you watch all these European games and you're like, Liverpool just went to Frankfurt and it was electric. You couldn't hear the commentators through the TV.
Yeah, but they probably had loads of beers and they have beers in the stadium.
And it's about £10 a ticket.
Exactly. Bayern Munich's very cheap as well.
But the fans that are in the stadium have got to do better. And Spurs fans will say to me, Gabby, I heard what you said, but we've got too many tourists. That's why the proper Spurs fans
I don't think Arsenal and Tottenham, when I've been to Spurs, it's been electric.
And it was silent, man.
And Arsenal's been noisy when I've been there. Anfield's noisy.
I think the opposite. When I've been to Anfield, when I've been to Spurs, when I've been to Stamford Bridge, when I've been to the Emirates, they've all been. Unless you're in the away end, because you're always the louder as away fans. I think the atmosphere at most big clubs in England really struggles. Liverpool, they play You'll Never Walk Alone, and it's good to start with. Then the atmosphere goes a bit flat. Do you also think, Gabby, that the style of football affects crowds?
Because I was at the game against Spurs with Villa, and until Spurs scored, it was silent and silent for the rest of the game. And I'm feeling, are the fans waiting for the players to literally entertain them before they can be lifted? But sometimes players need the fans to
Works both ways, doesn't it?
Raise the
but Villa Partner European night was brilliant.
Yes.
It wasn't the Premier games are not as nice.
It's like fans just get up for it when they want to get up for it. Like the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea-Liverpool the other day was absolutely ridiculous. Like, it was so good. The fans, it's one of the loudest I've seen Stamford Bridge for ages. But do we just have to accept that that's just not going to be the same every single week? And how do you change the atmosphere of a whole stadium?
Palace do well.
Palace do well.
Behind that goal where the tunnel is, they've got the home fans there, and they're very loud, aren't they?
Yeah, they are very loud, and that links me on to, so there's the Ashburton Army. Have you heard of them?
No.
So I actually hadn't heard of them. I went to Arsenal Man City at the start of the season, or the one a couple of months ago, and there was a section, I was sat sort of on the halfway line, and I'm usually sat in the away end, right? So I don't really see the Arsenal fans. They're called the Ashburton Army, and they're all in black. very similar to what Palace do.
Yes.
They wear all black, but there was about 10 of them. So I was almost laughing to be like, it's not like, come on, guys. But it turns out that they had a bigger allocation and there was a lot of them, and Arsenal pulled back on it because they were getting into trouble. There was trouble surrounding those fans. So they've pulled it back, and there's 10 of them that try and make noise, and it just doesn't work.
But as a player, and Alan will agree, the better the atmosphere, the ground, the better the players will play.
100%.
Sometimes I've played at Villa Park and the atmosphere has been so electric, and it really does help you as a player. Really.
Do you think Arteta's, he's someone that's so particular on the pitch, but he's also particular off the pitch, and he's looking for these small margins off the pitch that might help his team?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah.
No,
you don't
no,
find
he's forward thinking.
Anyway,
I've got a great gap for you. No, he's forward thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a break, mate. It's 7:30.
Eh?
4 minutes late.
Coming up, we turn attention to Celtic. Is Martin O'Neill going to bring a good feeling back to Parkhead? He already has, I think, with that result. You watch. Sunday's a big game now at Hampden. The issues at the club still systematic. 03717 223344. Give us a call and have your say. Olivia, thank you.
Thank you.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
7:36. I tell you what, she's bubbling, isn't she, Olivia?
Yes, very good at her job.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil, Gabby Agbonlahor and our friends at Arne Clarke. Get $7.50 off any used electric car or home charger. Right. 03717 223344. Let's take a quick call. Josh is an Arsenal fan, says there's one thing we're missing when it comes to what Arteta has brought to the club. Good morning, Josh. Josh,
Good morning,
one
Josh.
thing missing.
Good morning,
What is
Alan.
that, Josh?
Good morning, Gabby.
What is that, Josh?
What Arteta brought to the Sober Realty Training Centre a couple of years ago was a little puppy. You know what he named it? Win.
Yeah.
He named the puppy Win. That's another thing that you guys missed out on, what Arteta's trying to change in terms of atmosphere on the pitch and outside the pitch.
I'm not having that, mate.
And off the pitch.
I'm not having bringing a puppy in called Win.
What was he feeding it? Win a lot?
No, honestly, like, guys, think about it. Like, how wholesome is having a dog? When you come home and there's a dog waiting for you at the door, you know, it just puts you in such a good mood, doesn't it? Look at the boys now, flying, top of the league, Champions League.
Is this a prank call? Is this a prank call? Josh, you want to wind up?
Go and Google it. We have a dog named Win.
No, I know. No, I remember. But I'm saying, like, that isn't going to make Arsenal winners because of a dog.
Well,
what's going on
I
now?
thought I'd just get it in there. But listen,
Josh, all the best, mate. All the best. You know,
It's a bit early, Josh.
You've spotted something brilliant. You're talking about a puppy called Win. You know,
It's
I
incredible,
love my dogs. I love my puppies, but Josh, give us a break.
Ash, sorry, mate.
It's Josh, not Ash.
I'm all over the place. Al, what's going on, mate?
At least he's trying something, Arteta. Look, at the moment, maybe it's taking his mind off the pressure of being up there. And
Hey then, so
people
if
expect
you're
him to win.
Wolves, Al, not won a game all season, what do you do? Go and get 10 dogs? Bring them in, call them Win.
Yeah,
and you'll get out of the relegation. Come on, behave. It's down to the players, the coaches. Yeah, come on, stop.
All right, you just try a bit of light to this show.
No way.
Right, Martin O'Neill returned to the Celtic dugout after 7,459 days, and it started with a big victory over Falkirk. Now, the protests, though, still continue, with a few thousand protesting the board last night. But, guys, what do you want? Do you want the board to resign as well? Brendan's gone. Do you want the board to walk out? Come on.
But they're not happy with transfers, are they? You sell your best players and you don't bring in quality.
Gabby, let me just say this. In the history of me being a kid in Glasgow watching Celtic have never, ever really
had to go
crazy and bought big players. Even when they had 9 in a row, winning it 9 years, people say, here we go, we'll buy some big... They haven't.
Never done it.
Dermot, from what I gather, Dermot Desmond, the majority owner, he says to the Celtic board, you have to regenerate the finances or generate your own finance. Don't keep coming to me. Don't keep banging on my door for money. You know, so the perhaps they probably don't want to come out with it, but the truth would be that the board probably haven't got money, massive money. Maybe they're under instruction, you can't spend, we can still win it without spending.
But don't you look
at... That affects their Champions League.
Exactly.
You know, because they're great and nice at Parkhead.
But then they will also say, look at the team that you lost to in the Champions League.
I totally agree.
You had more than enough in the door.
I was
to beat
shocked.
them.
I was devastated. I really was. But many weeks have I been saying, before Brendan resigned, many weeks have I been saying, there's something not right.
No.
I can tell there's not. The fans have got the hump. Brendan doesn't look right. The players are not putting in.
But like you said,
there was something wrong.
Celtic, Rangers as well, have always had very good players that then move on. Kun, fantastic player, moves on.
A pal of mine from school sent me, the Larson area.
Yeah.
When Paul Lambert and people like that were... And before that, some great players. You look at Celtic now, you think...
Van Hooijdonk.
Yeah.
Top, weren't he?
But they had some, there was some great players played, and it's not the same. And look at Rangers under Souness, the players they had.
Yep.
Look who they've got now. So it's all changed. It's all changed. But I've said as well before, TV revenues for Celtic Rangers is a pittance compared to England.
Also, Maeda, Hatati haven't got to the levels.
By the way, Maeda.
Previous seasons.
He's got something wrong with him at the moment.
Yeah, they've not been playing as good as they have in previous seasons, have they?
No, there's something wrong with him at the moment. Anyway, It's going to be interesting. This weekend's it's a big game because Rangers got the victory. Look at Rangers now; they're third in the league. Hearts dropped points, 2 points last night with St Mirren, who are a good side. Ali told us, so I'm going to St Mirren watch Hearts.
Yeah,
it's not a foregone conclusion. Hearts will beat them. He was right.
I just think Martin O'Neill must be thinking at 73, Al. I'm going. Is it Hampden? Is that?
Yeah.
I'm going to Hampden in a semi-final to play Rangers. Imagine, like, he must be...
The big question is who's going to... Martin can't do it for another...
No.
You know, I'll be very surprised if Martin's there at the end of the season.
So am I, but I don't think...
Help, but who's going to get the job?
But, Al, what I would say, if results do go his way, beats Rangers, continues to win, I don't think there'll be a rush international break to make a mistake who they get.
But it depends what Martin said to him. Look, you've given me 10 minutes to make my mind up. I'll help you, but don't even think about it.
I don't know, mate. It's easier said than done, Al. He will love it. He will love it. Imagine, Al, telling Martin 2 weeks ago, you're going to be Celtic manager again. He would have said, come on, stop. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Once you're in the door, and don't forget, Martin, fantastic manager, but the coaching, he won't be doing a lot of the coaching. Never did at Aston Villa. It was John Robertson, Steve Walford that done the coaching. So you'll have Sean Maloney and other coaches there that will help him with that. So I'm telling you, Al, get that buzz back, mate.
It wouldn't bother me.
The love for Celtic that he's got as well. The fans love him.
And the history of when he was at Celtic.
Exactly, fantastic.
You know, but I was interested. I was racking my brains who's going to get the job. Now, would the Ipswich boy, you know, he'd fit into Celtic brilliant. I'm sure he would, Kieran. But I've said he probably earns more money at Ipswich.
Exactly.
And people have laughed at me. Said, you're joking.
Spot on. I reckon you're probably earning double what Celtic will be offering.
I wouldn't say double, but I think he gets more than what Celtic would be offering. So they'd have to match that. That's if he wanted to. You know, he'll be gutted. Keenan will be absolutely... What he done with Ipswich, getting them the Premier was fantastic. He want to get them back there.
Yeah, but will he look at it and maybe... Oh, it's not looking as rosy. I'm in 12th position. It's not going to be as easy to get them up.
They're not far away from... You know, I've said... I think Ipswich will make the playoffs.
Of course.
And many times I say to Steve or said and Simon...
Shouldn't be favourites.
We're not favourites. Yeah. Impossible. But Ipswich are 16 points. Charlton, who beat them 3-0, by the way, at Portman Road, are just 3 ahead and 6. So there's still a lot of points to play for.
But as well, though, if he actually wants to be Celtic manager, if it's something that he's always wanted to do, maybe he'll say, yep, I'll fancy that.
I don't know. I know he's... I think he was born in England, wasn't he, Kieran? But I think the family background is Ireland. I think it's the borders. I think. I've not looked into it. But I think he's around the border there between Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland.
But then Al...
I don't know.
Neil Lennon, twice. Brendan Rodgers, twice.
Yeah.
Why not Ange twice?
Maybe Ange was favourite yesterday, I think, with the bookies. And he's out of a job, so it'd be easy.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, we'll see. But it's a difficult one. Who's to blame here? Was it Brendan? Was it the board? The fans? The fans are still protesting. Which, you know, I think they can't do that ahead of this game at the weekend. You can't do that at Hampden against Rangers. No. You can't do it.
But did you see the game against Dundee?
Yeah.
And they're throwing balls onto the pitch after 30 seconds.
Yeah. But you can't stop that. If there's a fans or the guys I know, all my school friends, they're not protesting, but the certain ones are really staunch.
Yeah, they're fed up, aren't they?
And they've had enough. But forget that this weekend, because Rangers, you know, this guy, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll have them ready for it.
I do. There's just something about him. I think, this is probably a decent appointment. He might need time, but I think he's decent, and I think he knows what he's doing. So, no protest the weekend. Please, 7:45.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Excuse me, sorry for my coughing. I've just got a tickle I can't get rid of. So Martin O'Neill returned to Celtic dugout after a long time. Started a big win. Right, Liverpool fans, we're taking your calls as well. In 6 defeats in 7 games, really, is that enough to start questioning Arne Slot, who was brilliant last season? Or is it just absolute rubbish? Tell us. 03717 223344. Give us a call. That was a look ahead. All thanks to our brilliant Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Okay, 7:50, talkSPORT Breakfast. Gabby alongside me now. There's a talkSPORT treat coming to your screens and airways, well, perhaps, but that's very soon.
3 Titans. legends of the sporting media world.
You and I took on Jordan and Gabby.
Pretty good game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're fearful, the kind of ferocity that comes back when I'm on the ball.
And Gabby Agbonlahor.
Aston Villa. 4 talkSPORT presenters in what's being described as probably the sporting event of the year.
I mean, you don't move around the court, though. You kept going to be yours.
Gab, are you going to pack in broadcasting if you lose?
Pardon? It's Padel, but probably like you've never seen it before.
It's a little bit like squash, isn't it? You've got windows and it comes, you can hit it off the window, this sort of thing.
Whoosh, have that. So, Simon, Jordan and Gabby are teaming up to take on Goldstein and Darren Bent in a game of Padel. It'll be live in the talkSPORT YouTube channel on Wednesday the 12th of November. Let me put that in my diary right now. At 1:30 from Canary Wharf with updates on H&J. Gab, are you feeling confident?
Yes, because Andy Goldstein's never played before, so he's miles off it, and he's not a sporty guy.
Oh, no compliments for your partner who's a good player. Simon.
Yeah, but Simon wants to take all the plaudits, mate. I'm going to come and take his shots.
Simon's a better player.
I'm going to take his shots, Al.
Simon would be the best player on the pitch, wouldn't he? On the
Benty's close now. Benty's very good.
He?
Yeah, he plays every day, Benty. Every day, so he's improved a lot.
Right, we thought we'd need to get Gabby as prepared as possible so it doesn't embarrass our breakfast show.
Yeah.
So let's say a very good morning to a man who's played with actually decent players. John Terry include his Team GB paddle player, Nikhil Mohindra. Nikhil, a very, very
morning,
good
Nikhil.
morning. Now, you walked in there, Nikhil, and you look at an athlete. You look a player. You do. You know, right away I thought, what sport does this guy play? Gabby walks in and I'm like, who's this guy? It's getting more and more popular, isn't it?
No, exactly. Firstly, good morning. Thank you for having me. And
You're welcome.
It's the fastest growing sport in the world, and you can see here in the UK, it's just exploding. As you've seen, Gabby, you're addicted now, and not only is it for people that have never played before, but like ex-athletes like yourself that are coming over from elite sport find it super easy to adapt to.
Mate, sometimes I'm leaving my house on a Sunday evening at 8 p.m. and my missus is like, no, not again. I'm like, just sometimes I have to not tell her, just sneak out the house. Sorry, can I only get a quarter this time? So I've got to sneak out at 8 p.m.
I know.
You can't get a quarter, can you?
It's ridiculous. Like, there's only 1,000 courts in Britain compared to the 23,000 tennis courts. So it's still a lot of room to grow, but yeah.
Well, we don't have enough tennis courts for a start, never mind.
Yeah, but Al, you know what you see now, though, is that at local tennis places that they play, there's paddle courts being built, but you've got tennis clubs where people that have loved tennis for years are having arguments with the new guys that want to play paddle. There's conflict, there's arguments at tennis clubs because paddle's where the money's at.
Yeah, exactly. You saw Novak Djokovic say you can fit 3 paddle courts onto a tennis court, meaning 3 times the amount of people paying the club. So it's a lot better for the club.
By the way, well done Cameron Norrie yesterday. I meant to say that and I forgot. So, you've seen Gabby play.
Unfortunately.
First impressions?
I think, obviously, he's very... Technically, I think he's got it. He's got a few mistakes there, but I think a few more hours on the court, he could iron them out.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I need to work on? And then your advice is that when I serve and I see the pros, I'm trying to hit the serve and obviously underarm as hard as I can into the corner.
Oh, it's underarm, it's not overarm.
No, underarm serve, yeah. But is your advice to not hit it as hard so you get more time to get to the net?
Yeah, I think you've got to focus on the placement more than anything. So put it in the right place, not allowing your opponent to hit whatever shot they like, and also giving yourself time to get to the net.
Have they got to let it bounce or can they volley it?
No, you can volley either, like tennis, you can let it bounce or you can volley it straight.
From a serve, though.
From a serve, you've got to let it bounce.
You got to let it bounce.
Some advice as well that I've had, and I'm sure you can give me some extra advice, is I don't know why, but from years of watching tennis, I get on a paddle court and I want to absolutely smash the ball at every opportunity. But a lot of the time, it's better to not, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. With the glass wall behind you, if you're playing against a good player who knows to run forward, the harder you hit it, actually, the worse it can be for you. So that's why it's so addictive, and everyone can play it because it's not about power at all.
Nikhil, can you spin it? Can you?
Yeah, there's a lot of spin,
back spin, side spin.
It's so important. A big part of the game is the spin. So not all about power. Spinning so it stays low off the glass.
Were them paddle rackets. You can spin it, can you?
Yeah. So it's different types. They're made of carbon fibre, foam, etc.
Right.
So all slightly different materials.
So you've probably listened to Gabby. You've watched Gabby. Now this game needs a lot of intelligence. Is that one of Gabby's stumbling blocks?
Well, I think actually I've seen Gabby play a few times, and I've seen Andy play. I'm sorry, Andy, but I think Gabby's just got the edge here. So,
when he first came in here, he said, "I said, wait, what the hell are you doing with that?" He said, "I'm taking up paddle with the canoe."
Do you know what though? We was in Qatar for the World Cup, and Simon Jordan was going to play with Batistuta, with all these ex-superstar players, and I was like, "What's this game?" He goes, "Paddle. I've never heard of it." And to see the rise in the last 3 years is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy to see a sport. I started about 8 years ago when nobody was playing. There's probably 10 courts, and fortunately for me, now it's just taken off, and now literally everybody knows what it is. And yeah, it's.
Do you know what I love as well?
How good were you, Nicole? Were you ever British number one?
No, it's close to it. Close I've been is 3, but still very close to it. But still working my way up. But,
Do you know what I love as well, Al? Is that like I went to Mallorca a few months ago. And there's apps, isn't there, that you can play on.
Yeah.
And you play against randoms. So I literally went on this app. It's called Play Tomit, the app. Clicked on the game. There's 2 Spanish players and a Dutch player. End up keeping in touch. We played every day in a trip.
Yeah.
You know, just like to play
it's
randoms.
so sociable. Yeah.
What standard? Were they good?
Yeah, I lost every game. But it's about joining in sometimes, Al, enjoying yourself. It's not about winning.
Lost every game.
I did, yeah.
Will you come and watch this game, Nicole, or are you going to
100%. No, I'll make sure I make some time for this game. Canary Wharf, right?
Yeah.
You know what I struggle with, though? It's so frustrating when I see people, and Benty's got it, where someone plays a short lob, and he absolutely smashes it, and it hits off the glass and comes all over the nets. You can't get it. I just can't do it. It's so frustrating.
I think I could teach you that. Let's get some training before the.
Is it more technique than power?
100%. Because someone like me, I don't have a lot of power. It's all about the timing.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll get you doing that.
Get there, mate. See, I got a coach now, Al. I'm going to be the man.
He earns a lot of money, Nicole. You're going to coach and make sure you get some money. Don't worry. Nicole, great to talk.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to this game now. Thank you. And have a great day, a great weekend, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
There you go. So Nicole Mahindra there. I'm going to give you a little bit of coaching, Gab. How good's that?
Yeah, you know what, Al? But the pressure's going to be on you now. Because Lord Jordan will be like, you've had loads of...
Well, he'll be listening. He'll be listening.
You twerp. You've had loads of coaching and you're still costing me. And he'll put me off my game, Al, playing with Simon, I think. Because you'll just be on me. Do you know what I mean? You're not a partner. You've got to be a team, haven't you? You can't be digging each other out. I think Simon will.
Well, he can't keep carrying. He's worried about carrying you, Gab.
I know. When he turned up right, I thought...
Just hit it to Goldstein.
I thought Simon's nearly 60. I thought he's going to be a walk in the park.
Is it alternate shots when you play doubles?
No, anyone can
it goes
so you can target one person.
Well, just target all day.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it? What's so good about the game is, like, any age group are playing it, aren't they? A lot of the younger kids are getting involved.
Yeah,
older generation are coming from tennis into paddle because you can get better rallies, can't you? Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you see a match where there's like someone who's quite old and someone who's quite young, someone who's never played before. But yeah,
incredible game, mate.
Look forward to it, Nicole. Thank you, Mahindra. There, Team GB. Just play on Andy Goldstein all the time.
Thank you, Alan. I will.
And Simon will as well. Benty's not going to get a shot.
Your mate Andy.
Coming up, we turn our attention back to Liverpool. 6 losses and 7 now, unprecedented times at Anfield. But how bad could it get? Is there really a crisis here? We'll discuss that next.
Formula One. It's a sport often seen as insular and elitist, but it's seen a meteoric rise under its owners Liberty Media, not only in popularity and viewership, but in the ability to almost print money. From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But in 2016, Ecclestone agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year, in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across the social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Okay, 6 minutes past 8 o'clock, talkSPORT Breakfast with Gabby and Arne Clarke. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed on the way for you this morning. You're happy now, aren't you?
I am very happy, mate.
The front pages are dominated by none other than last night's celebrity Traitors drama. I've not watched it. We're going to speak to a man who knows Joe Marler as well as anyone. Danny Kerr's going to join us about whether the stardom has gone to Joe's head now. Plus, we'll preview England taking on the Aussies in rugby union at Twickenham this weekend. 2-time world champion boxing Amir Khan will also be with us for more than whether he could fight one more time against Pacquiao. What about that, no less? And now, though, the Carabao Cup threw up another hatful of goals, but the story of the night has to be, without doubt, a much-changed Liverpool's crushing 3-0 loss at home to Crystal Palace. The 6 defeat in 7 games. After the game, Arne Slot defended his decision. Now he made 10 changes.
So a year ago, we did the same, but maybe the lineup felt differently. I said this also for the television, that before I went out, I saw City's lineup, and I don't think they had one starter from the weekend, but it felt as if you looked at their lineup, they played with their 11 starters. So maybe it also gives a little bit of an insight that everybody has always said how big of a squad we are having. When we played Chelsea, I said they're missing 8, but they can still bring Estevao in. Now we're only missing 4 players at the moment, and already we needed to start with 4 players under the age of 19. And after I made 2 substitutions, we were on 6.
Arne Slot there.
The cheek.
Yeah, not good.
You're moaning about players, not enough players. You spent 420 million. I know our next guest.
Yeah, but who spent it though?
I know our next guest will be fuming at the way he's speaking out, honestly.
Well, let's say very good morning for more on last night's football. John Berman, who was at Anfield last night, talkSPORT's voice of live football.
Yes.
I'm not sure he's a paddle player. Adrian Dunham joins us. Adrian, morning.
Good morning, Adrian.
I'm definitely, the only paddle I do is when I'm in a kayak, and that was a long time ago. But Alan, Gabby, great to speak to you.
Adrian, it's an interesting one, isn't it? You know, what's going on in Glasgow and what's happening here now, especially with the champions, Liverpool. It's really strange, isn't it?
Not enough players, Adrian.
No, I think that's ludicrous what he was talking about there. Honestly, Arne Slot has just talked about how we've got to bring in these under-19s, and then he said, and then you look at Chelsea and they can bring in Estevao. Hello, mate. He's a teenager. I mean, it's like almost like he's lost sight of what he's trying to say. I mean, he might have a point in his head, but he's not coming across very well. I think it's one of the bigger problems that Liverpool fans have. I don't think any of them want him out or anything like that. 6 defeats in 7. They're 7 points behind the leaders at the top of the table. They don't want him out because of what happened last season. I get that. But I think they're getting a little bit frustrated with the excuses he's coming out with time and time again after games. And I think last night was the worst. He's picked a team. Now, when you're a manager, you pick a team to compete in a game. He's picked a team that wasn't competitive in any way in that game. And they didn't have anything on the bench. The big players were left at home. He didn't leave them out the 11 and put them on the bench. He left them at home. That's on him. That's why they're out of the cup. It's probably not the end of the world for Liverpool, but it's another defeat, and that's the big problem for them.
So, Adrian, I said earlier, and I've said it for a few days now, probably a couple of weeks at least, no urgency in Liverpool's play now. Second balls, they're losing. You know, balls bobbling, midfield. Brentford were a classic example. They wanted it. They won them. The 50-50s, they wanted it. Liverpool just got a bit, dare I say it, lazy and sloppy.
Yeah, I think that here's my take on the broader picture at Liverpool. So at the back end of last season, you had Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is he going to stay? Is he going to sign a new contract? Is he going to go? It went on and on and on forever. He eventually goes. Mo Salah, similar situation. Virgil van Dijk, similar situation. Those two sign up again. But Mo Salah, it was celebrated that he was signing up again. He's over 32. He had a really poor, by his standards, second half of last season. And he started badly again this season. But nobody really within the club is questioning it. You know, he was left on the bench the other day, but, you know, he scored a great goal in the end, but it was a consolation at Brentford. But he is not the Mo Salah of old. Is Arne Slot solving these problems? Is he managing Mo Salah to get the very best out of him? Or is it just coasting along and Liverpool, the decline is right there? So I do fear for Liverpool in terms of their league position this season. They're just a losing machine right now. And I think Arne Slot has got some big problems that he simply isn't tackling.
Adrian, look at the Premier League goals they've conceded, 14. Only 5 teams have conceded more than that in the Premier League. Looking at the next 3 games before international break, Villa at home, Real Madrid at home, and Man City away. He needs some results, doesn't he? And a couple of clean sheets if he can.
Yeah, it could be a nightmare scenario for them. And listen, they've had a few problems at the back. Alisson being out is huge. Yeah. I think Kirke's coming in. It's almost like he feels like I've got to play him. I don't think he wants to play him, but
I agree.
I think you had the guy on the panel earlier, Danny, who talked about missing out on Mark Gahey. I think that was a big loss for them. Sign him, and I think he makes a huge difference. I think he's absolutely brilliant, and he was again last night. And they've had injury issues at right back. Bazball has had to play there for a number of games this season. So there's been issues there. But again, these are issues that a manager, and he has got a decent enough squad, whatever he says, these are issues that the manager has to solve, and he simply hasn't solved them.
What about Adrian? City got a result last night, beating Swansea. But City, on a weekly basis, their standards have dropped a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, you're right. And I think this is the reason why Arsenal are going to win the league this season. It's not necessarily just because there's been a huge drop-off elsewhere. Arsenal are really good. They're very effective at what they do. They're clearly, you look at the table, they're the best team in the country right now. Okay, so they're going to probably win the title. But you look at Manchester City, they're not back to the standards they were. Liverpool, a massive drop-off from last season. Is there anybody else around? Chelsea, no, way too inconsistent.
And lack of discipline.
Oh, it's including the manager, 6 red cards this season, which is outrageous. So he's got to address that, Maresca. But there's nobody else who you're thinking, yeah, they're going to really launch it. Closest challengers to Arsenal this season I see as Manchester United. And nobody really...
I said that yesterday and people slaughtered me.
Yeah, but nobody can really see them winning the title. Having said that, I mean, the way they've been playing recently and getting results, maybe it has clicked and maybe they will provide a challenge. How incredible would it be if Man United actually went on to win the title?
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Blows my mind.
With 3 at the back, Adrian.
It'd be amazing, Adrian. Adrian, tell me a little bit about Posh. What's happening there?
Well, Luke Williams has gone in, the former Swansea manager. And you know what? I'm a big Fergie fan. He's always a club legend. He's done brilliant things, Wembley wins, promotions, etc. And the way we played football under him was excellent. And he made what sometimes we thought were average players worth a couple of million and gone on to big careers. So Darren Ferguson will always be a legend.
Excuse me.
But Luke Williams has come in. And you know what I love about Luke Williams? When he lost his job at Swansea, he went to work at Bristol Airport, and what he was doing was he was helping people with mobility issues around the airport, pushing wheelchairs and stuff. He didn't need them. He said he didn't need the money. He was doing it because he wanted to contribute to society. How can you not love a guy like that? So I'm very glad he's manager of Peterborough United.
One last one, Adrian. Rangers, have they got the right guy this time, Danny Rowe?
Well, I saw the table last night and they're up to 3rd, but I'm not necessarily sure things are okay at Rangers, let's put it that way. But if you haven't seen the VAR decision to rob St Mirren of the goal that would have made it 3-1 to St Mirren against Hearts yesterday, you've got to watch it. It's one of the worst VAR decisions I have ever seen. They've got huge problems with VAR in Scotland. They haven't got a clue what they're doing with it. St Mirren absolutely robbed last night. It was a shocker.
Adrian, nice one. Thank you,
Adrian. Top man.
Ali was going, so maybe, speak to Ali about that one. But he's done a good job.
How can they get it so wrong, though?
Look at the Premiership here as well. We get it wrong, I think. Honestly, I don't know who makes these decisions in the bus or whatever it is, St George's Park, whatever they are.
As well, the problem is that the people in VAR, mate, they don't understand the game. They don't understand the game.
Yeah,
what's a foul? Why is it a foul?
Why are they allowed to do it?
Exactly.
Coming up, we'll find out if Liverpool can arrest a hot or run away at home to the Villa, Gabby's Villa, on Saturday, 8 o'clock. Live and exclusive, this one on talkSPORT. Coming up, City legend Paul Dickov will tell us whether his team are too reliant on Haaland and are they getting the right service to him. When you do, you know the outcome. Bang, go. Paul Dickov coming up, 8:15. talkSPORT breakfast alongside Gabby yesterday on Insider AI. I revealed, hold on a minute, that Brendan is on his way to Saudi, my sources tell me. Well, look, let's get this straight.
Is that what you said?
Someone has said that's where they think he's going.
To you?
Yeah.
But remember, you knew about Ten Hag. You knew a lot, Al. Like, who's your source, mate? Come on.
Well, it's not...
Pochettino you knew about?
It's not Inspector Clouseau, is it? You know.
No, but you knew about Pochettino, and you know a lot, mate.
Gabby, listen, now and again, well, you got to ask the right questions, haven't you?
Yeah.
You were on the train with a Villa player just recently.
Oh, how do you know?
What'd you get out of that?
Nothing, mate.
Because
I can't repeat.
Inspectors, man, mate. And you should have been sitting in first class.
You know what's funny, though? Is that I wasn't, actually. You know what's funny? There was two Villa fans, and they'd had a few. And me and John McGinn were sitting there the other day. Al, they were coming up, they were coming down, they were coming up, and then they give us two Stellas.
Did they?
2 cans of Stellas, and we were both like, no, we don't drink. Put them to the side.
And did you?
But yeah, it was good. We had a good chat with him. Proper nice guy.
Oh, I don't know. We spoke to his brother, didn't we?
Lovely guy, mate.
I don't know John.
No Shaban.
Tell me is.
You know Shaban.
Well, she does a lot for the Celtic Foundation, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
you know Shaban.
Listen, I might be wrong with Brendan, but that's where...
Your source told you that.
Like he could be heading.
Yeah. So you've got a source and you think it might be wrong?
Well, look, at the end of the day, you can't be 100%, but Brendan's had a great career.
Yeah.
And he might just say, I'm going to earn some serious money now.
Okay.
I'm going to have a couple of years there. That'll do me.
So we shouldn't take odds on Brendan going back to the Premier League then?
Not yet. I wouldn't. No,
okay.
no.
Okay, interesting.
No, I trust the guy who told me. But look, I might be wrong. We'll see.
Well, that's
We'll
Steve-o. That's Steve-o.
Dave Stevens, you mean? Because Simon is heading down to beautiful Del Mar. Steve-o, here comes the odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
So, Steve-o, the big talking point this morning is Gabby's picked a good partner with Simon Jordan against, a couple of hopefuls. Darren Bent is half decent. Bent, he's improving, Steve-o. And you got Goldstein, who might not even be able to find his way into the court. So how do we bet?
Good morning, gentlemen. This is the huge paddle showdown. I mean, Simon's got broad shoulders because he's going to have to carry Gab, obviously. But no, look, Gab, I want to put it to you, and I've got full faith in you, and you tell me Simon's very good. But if you don't win this game, you are going to have to do a show from Birmingham wearing a Birmingham City shirt.
Good
do
show.
You take that challenge on?
Yes.
No, what? I'm not wearing that shirt, mate.
Well, then don't lose the game.
I can't wear that, mate. I'm itching. I'm itching thinking about it, Steve-o. Oh, where in Birmingham? Bullring?
No, at the training ground.
Nah, come on. They won't let me in there, will they?
Yeah, of course they will.
Would they?
Well, listen, it's very simple. Don't lose this game. Come on, I've got.
I'll take the bet.
Andy Goldstein's not an athlete. You tell me Simon Jordan's very good at this, so come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that bet with you, mate. I'm all over it, Steve-o.
There you go, Steve-o. That's done.
What about? Sorry, Steve-o. Before I forget, Brendan Rodgers' next job to be in the Premier League. Any odds?
1 to 10, it's in Saudi Arabia.
Look, there's a chance he could be heading to Saudi.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of logic to it, Al, isn't there? Let's be honest. But talking of Celtic,
what price Celtic win the SPL now?
Yeah. I mean, look, they were favourites anyway. They were 4 to 6.
Yeah.
They've shortened. They're 1 to 2. They won. Hearts dropped points, 9 to 4 Hearts. Rangers just clipped into 15 to 2. To be fair, Ali said at the start of the week that it was right that Celtic were still favourites. There is such a long way to go.
And he also said St Mirren was a hard game for Hearts, and Adrian Dunham just told us it should have been 3-1 St Mirren.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was absolutely right. Look, in terms of who the next permanent manager might be, Kieran McKenna is still favourite, Al, even money. It's Robbie Keane, though, that's the mover now into 3 to 1. So
wow.
This is one that will run because Martin, have it till the end of the season, do you think? Or
maybe not even that. No, maybe not even that. I'd be interested, Steve. Kieran, I think Kieran feels he wants to get Ipswich back in the Premier, and then he could go. And plus, there's a financial aspect. I don't know what Celtic pay. Someone said to me, "Oh no, the Ipswich probably pay more," and I'm like, "What, really?" So you don't know. You don't know. But so, Steve, how are we doing? There was a bit in the piece. I didn't get a chance to read it all. Frankie talking about retiring again. Is this the fifth time?
It's more retirements than Sinatra, isn't he, Frankie? Oh. He has come out and said, and this is another strange one, that his rides at the Breeders' Cup tomorrow night and Saturday night.
Oh, it's tomorrow night, is it?
Yeah, starts Friday night with the juvenile Aidan O'Brien's Precise and Gestad both line up. Frankie has said this will be his last rides in North America, where he's been based now for a couple of years since he retired from riding here. And then he's going to go and take a few rides in South America, which is...
What?
Was a bit vague. I mean, they do race in Argentina, they race in Brazil, but I don't know what Frankie's got planned down in South America. So, yeah, it's a retirement of sorts. But look, this is Frankie. Wimbledon Hawkeye is in the Gredley colours, Al, in the Breeders' Cup turf on Saturday night. Looks to be a good chance for Frankie. He'll want to sign off with a winner.
What would our best chances be, do you think, Steve-O?
Despite the draw, still Aidan O'Brien with Gestad, who's even money for the juvenile turf.
But has he won a race or has he been runners-up a couple of times?
He's finished runner-up in a couple of Group 1s, but that sort of form, you know, should, particularly the turf races at the Breeders' Cup. The European runners,
Americans are not as good.
Not as good, no. The dirt is where they win their races. Precise, she's a Group 1 winning filly. She's got a great chance. True Love in the turf sprint for juveniles, another Group 1 winner, won the Cheveley Park. Mini Hawkow, she's the one I like. She takes on Godolphin's Rebels Romance in the Breeders' Cup turf. Notable speech for Godolphin's got a great chance in the Breeders' Cup.
What about Cinderella for Godolphin? Charlie was talking about her.
Yeah, she is joint favourite for the filly and mare turf, another race on the turf, Cinderella's Dream. So, look, loads of European chances. It used to be that, yeah, we travelled to California at the end of a long, hard season and you couldn't fancy the Europeans, but that's not the case now. This is on the radar for these horses from a long way out. But we shouldn't forget, away from the glamour of Dalmar, there's some really good jumping action this weekend at Wetherby and at Ascot. We're going to see Protectorat for Dan Skelton, co-owned by Sir Alex. He'll make his comeback. And as I say, there's a really good card at Ascot as well, where the Changing Man, who could be Joe Tizard's big hope for the season, goes
Where will you be, Steve-O?
I will be watching it all unfold from the warmth and the comforts of the sofa.
Steve-O, you've gone now since you've been married.
Yeah, he's not allowed out.
He's giving his back. He's giving his back.
You're not allowed out, Steve-O.
He's giving his boundaries up, Gab. Honestly,
that simply is not true. I'm looking forward to following all the action, including Gab.
Yep.
Aston Villa. You've got to fancy Anfield on Saturday night. What a time to play Liverpool.
Yeah, it is, but knowing that so many players have been rested makes you think they're going to be at it on the weekend. What are the odds for that game, though? I'll be able to tell by the odds, Steve.
Villa are just shy of 4-1. Liverpool are odds on. The draw is just over 3-1, but things are not right. Arne Slot, the excuses, I don't know. Interesting how Liverpool fans feel about this. So surely, Slot's not under any pressure, is he, given the heroics from last
he's not under
season?
pressure, but 3 massive games. Liverpool versus Villa,
Real Madrid.
then Real Madrid and Man City before the international break.
Brilliant.
Big games.
Steve-O, just a quick one, last one. Hampden Park weekend, Celtic Rangers.
Oh, you've done me there, haven't you? Look at that. I was just going to run through the Carabao Cup. No, we can do this.
You should know.
How do I not? Oh, this is terrible. This is absolutely
disrespectful,
terrible.
mate. Scottish football.
I will resign right this moment. We'll have this one tomorrow, Al, I promise.
Can we have that in writing,
Right,
Steve?
we'll do that tomorrow if I'm here. God, my head's about to explode. Steve, have a great day. Thank you.
Cheers,
Have a word with Steve. We'll get racing again. Coming up to 8:30.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
More green jackets have been lost at the 12th than at the Augusta City Dry Cleaners. Rory McIlroy knows this better than most. But what is Amen Corner and why is it so iconic? The famous sequence has always been there since the Masters began in 1934. It didn't get its name until '58, though, when American sports writer Herbert Warren Wind, on the left, wrote, "At the farthest reach of the Augusta National Course, down in the Amen Corner." He drew inspiration from the 1933 jazz song Shouting in That Amen Corner by the Dorsey Brothers. The reason behind its difficulty is all in the sand and the water. Tournament officials don't even bother to count the balls lost in there each year, such is the sheer number. The 11th, named White Dogwood, is a downhill 520-yard par 4 with a pond to the left of the green and a bunker to the right. Both cause a lot of trouble each year. The 12th, Golden Bell, is perhaps the most famous hole in the world, with danger everywhere. Many aim for the flag, but look, get it even slightly wrong, and you're in the azaleas at the back, or the bunkers at the front, or even worse, Rays Creek. Or you can play it safe and aim for the open green on the left. You chicken. Tiger Woods once said, if you make 4 bogeys from Thursday to Sunday, you're doing well. And the highest ever score on that hole? 13. It's a par 3. Tom Weiskopf in 1980 was the sorry soul. Often the iconic Ben Hogan Bridge is the only thing players enjoy about Golden Bell. Even if you escape there unscathed, though, you met with Azalea, the dogleg par 5 13th. It tempts players to go for the green in 2, but cut over those trees on the left at your peril. Every year, it seems, Amen Corner destroys someone's dreams. Rory McIlroy dropped 3 shots through here as his round unravelled in 2011. In 2016, a year after navigating Amen Corner expertly, Jordan Spieth shot a quadruple bogey on the 12th to throw away his green jacket. I mean, it sounds like my game, to be honest. So who'll be the next to be brought to their knees, praying for mercy after Amen Corner?
Okay, 25 minutes to 9, talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil, Gabby, and Arne Clarke gets £750 off any used electric car home charger. Gabby, before I forget,
yes,
I see you shaking your head looking at the telly. Horrendous over in the Caribbean. It's hit eastern Cuba, I think, the last I looked.
Yesterday, Jamaica, wasn't it?
The problem is, over there, as you know, I go to, now and again, I go to Barbados.
Yeah.
It's all right, the swanky hotels, Gab, on the beach, but when you go inland, you see some of the properties.
No protection.
Some of the people, poor people.
Yeah.
They're not all minted in Barbados.
Of course.
And you get something like that, a Category 5, it will just take your house apart.
I saw a video yesterday out, and it was like a dog holding on for dear life on a fence, like water everywhere. I think they said as well, be careful of crocodiles. Crocodiles have got out, and I'm like, and I thought so scary for people.
I thought they were Florida alligators, but crocodiles in the Caribbean.
That's what they said in Jamaica
before yesterday.
So praying for everyone in the Caribbean for sure,
and Cuba.
Yeah,
they tell me Cuba's a place I want to go before it goes westernized.
Okay,
but they've been smashed in the eastern side.
Terrible, mate. Like you said there as well, loads of English people trapped.
Yeah, on holiday.
Yep.
But so maybe we're not as bad off as we think we are here.
100%.
And I did watch a bit of Parliament yesterday, and I'm not going to go.
Do you want to go into that, or
this was in the afternoon, and no, late. It was late morning, and if you'd have seen, no wonder it's half term at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, they're all in Parliament.
Was there?
It was pathetic. You'd someone try to speak,
laughing at him,
and they were laughing, interrupting,
mocking,
and the speaker sat there and let them. It's just...
but it can be chaos in there, can't it?
I would love people to watch it and understand these people govern our cities, our regions.
Yeah.
And they're the biggest bunch of clowns, some of them. It's with no manners, like school kids.
Like little kids, I've seen it many times, though, like little kids, and they don't let you speak, mocking you, laughing,
terrible,
giggling like little children.
Yeah. Okay, well,
A
that's enough
timeout.
of
Do you want to
that,
go into anything else?
No.
Politics?
But I'm just watching it there, and I'm just looking at them thinking, yesterday was just, I was astonished how childish they are.
Yeah.
And ignorant they are.
Yes.
Anyway, talkSPORT breakfast. Manchester City scraped past Swansea in the Carabao Cup last night, but it's a year ago today, 1 year, that all started going a little bit pear-shaped for Pep. The then 4-in-a-row champions were on a 32-game unbeaten run before running into Spurs. They were beaten 2-1 on the night, setting in motion a run of 5 straight losses, An incredible 1 win in 13. So have City fully recovered from that fall from grace. John is now for more as the Manchester City ledge. Paul Dickoff. Paul, morning, Paul.
Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Gabby. Morning, Alan. How are you?
Right,
good, Paul. We've been talking a lot about Liverpool. It's quite remarkable what's going on there after last year. And City as well. I can't put my finger on it. You know, I've said already about Liverpool, I just thought 50-50, second balls. They're not competing. There's no urgency. City, for me, Paul, drive me mad because when they're on form, when they're passing the ball and it's slick, and Haaland in the type of form he is, it's magic. But see, when they go behind, they don't change. They knock the ball from right to left, left to right, and I'm like, get a ball forward, get someone attacking, get in there and hurt the opposition, get back in the game. But they're very, very patient, sometimes too patient.
Yeah, they are. And look, that's the way Pep's been since he's come in. He was the same at Bayern Munich and Barcelona. I think slightly disagree with you a little bit. I think this season they have went a little bit longer at times, Alan. Especially into Haaland and building up from there, and the big man's been absolutely outstanding. But and even I know Gabby would have been happy on Sunday with the Villa win, but I thought City were better. You're talking about them this time last year, and I see a different type of City now. Once they went behind, that Villa game last week. City went 1-0 behind last year. You're looking at being 2 and 3 and 4. They were crumbling, but they're trying to do the right things. Looking at the game last night, going behind I thought Swansea were excellent, by the way, for a majority of the game. They made it really difficult. But then, getting minutes in players like Kuzanov, Ant-Nouri coming back. But the one for me who could make a difference for them if they can get him up to speed is Ryan Cherky, Alan. I think he's a special talent. And talking about City struggling to break teams down at times, he's the one that's got that little bit of gold dust, that can produce a little bit of magic, and even the little ball for Marmouchi's goal last night, so players like that, especially with De Bruyne leaving, that they're going to have to rely on them because they can't rely on Haaland all the time to score all the goals.
Yeah, no.
They need somebody that's going to break teams down, and for me, Cherky, if we can get him up to speed fit-wise, you seen him taking cramp last night, which it shows you that his match fitness isn't quite there yet. But I think when they do, he could be an absolute game changer for them.
When they first got Silvinho, I thought good signing.
Yeah.
But God, his final ball lately, his pants. And I'm like, he's trying his hardest. You're laughing, but I'll tell you, I backed him a few times, Paul, so I'm even angrier. And the times he get the fullback, and he does, he loves to run at the fullback. If he just get that ball into Haaland, who's exceptional at the moment, but he's not getting the final ball, and there's no quality.
No, he's not. And I think he's hitting the nail on the head there. He's probably trying a little bit too hard now. He had quite a few assists last season. He's actually been playing quite well, as you said, Alan, but his final ball does need work on. And if he can improve that a little bit more, it'd be quite scary how many goals Haaland would have already. He's got 20 odd as it is, and so if you start getting better service into him, there's going to be goals there for him. I look all around at City, and the Doku's becoming more of a threat and getting a bit more consistent. Phil Foden's coming back into a bit of form as well. So, but the big one everybody talks about is Rodri. I think they need to get Rodri back fit again. He's back in training at the minute, but they're going to have to wrap him up in cotton wool, and I think that might be the case until after Christmas. And I genuinely think that if City are still there or thereabouts in January, and they've got Rodri back fit, Haaland still firing, Foden's form's improving, that they've got a real good chance of pushing Arsenal.
Paul, you talk about Foden there, and yes, he has been better, but he's still got a lot to do, I think, to get back into this England squad. I mean, there's 3 games now until the international break. I'm not sure he'll get called up to the next one. It would be such a shame, wouldn't it, for someone of his talent to not go to the World Cup?
I couldn't agree more, Gabby. I think he's He's a wonderful, wonderful footballer. No natural ability. He did have a down season last season, which was well documented, but he has been getting better, and I think from England, not so much from Scotland's point of view, but from England's point of view, if you can get Phil Foden, Jack Grealish back into the form that they know they are, it's going to be really difficult to leave them out the squad, but they've both got a little bit to do at the minute.
Yeah. Saying that, City, they've got, well, it's not easy, Carabao Cup, Brentford, who are flying high at the moment, aren't they? They're really getting stuck in. But City at home to Brentford should be all right, quarter-final Carabao Cup.
But Bournemouth the weekend, Al, that's not going to be easy. Bournemouth are flying.
It's a big week, Gabby. They've got Bournemouth, who are sitting second in the league, who have been magnificent if you look at the players that they lost in the summer. And then I think it's Dortmund next week in the Champions League, which won't be easy. And then Liverpool the following weekend. So it's 3 massive games before the international break. But going back to Carabao Cup, Alan, I think, you fancy City, especially at home against Brentford. Being down at the G-Tech might be a bit more difficult, but a lot of people were asking questions of Keith Andrews when he came in the summer, but we've got to say he's done an absolute wonderful job as well. And Brentford will be really difficult for them.
I think as well, Paul, Calvin Phillips on the bench yesterday, unused. I mean, it's just not worked for him, has it? But Pep Guardiola got asked a question before the game, will Calvin Phillips be involved? He says, well, he might travel. It's a shame to see, isn't it? Such a talented player.
It's such a talented player, but such a great kid. Everybody, Gabby, Calvin, what everybody thinks of him. Everybody at City wants him to do well. He comes in and he trains hard. He gives his all every single day, and he's a great person to have around the place. But it is a shame, when he came in from his move from Leeds a couple of seasons ago, and he was a shoe-in in England, not just in the England squad, in the team at the time. And it's disappointing, for Calvin, and it's a little bit that he's not really kicked on from there. And I was surprised he didn't maybe move on this summer. And I know he had an injury throughout the season, but you want Calvin to go away and play football, because he's not just a really good footballer, he's a really good person as well, and you want to see these sort of people playing games.
So, Paul, finally, Arsenal are not shoo-ins yet.
Not quite. We've got to say that they do look good. They look strong. The squad depth. Eze, for me, has been a fantastic signing. Talking about players in the Man City team being game changers, I think Arsenal have got 3 or 4 now, and especially if they pick up a couple of injuries. So I don't think quite yet, but they do look as if they're going to be very hard to beat.
Nice one, Paul.
Spot on, mate.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks,
Paul
guys.
Dickoff there. It's interesting, yeah. But look, City can easily come back. I just feel, just get forward a little bit more urgency. Take people on, create, and at the moment
when Doku come on, when Doku come against Aston Villa, they were a lot better and they're causing Aston Villa problems. Before that, Savinho wasn't really trying to get past Matty Cash. He was coming back and passing it. It was quite comfortable for Aston Villa to play Onana and Kamara as 2 defensive midfielders, and literally Konsa had Haaland in his pocket, by the way.
Okay, still to come on the Sports Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarx Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarx.
Yep, friends of talkSPORT, Joe Marler played a standing role in last night's Celebrity Traitors. We get more on his gameplay with former Queens and England teammate Danny Kerr. Big viewing figures for Traitors.
I've heard about it, yeah.
Big.
Need to watch it.
Plus, we'll speak live to the one and only Amir Khan, and we'll also Mickey Quinn coming up as well. That was a look ahead. We're good friends at Travis Perkins.
Why are we struggling in Wales then? Not bothered. What do you mean? They're not bothered? No, sorry, I'm not bothered.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
What are you playing at? What are you doing?
Speaking to Ollie, the producer.
Well, go through there. He's 10 yards away.
Yeah, but it's easier to just give him a message and...
Oh, wait, really? But he doesn't look at messages, look.
He does, mate. He's got it on his laptop, Al. Yeah.
Well, send one to Dim Sum.
He ain't got a clue. Look at him.
Look, he heard that, didn't he? Coming up, 8:52. Time for, I tell you what, let's cheer up. Let's have a bit of magic, a bit of this. Yes.
Got an issue? Why can't you see? All you need is some help from me. Give my lamp a rub. 1, 2, 3. I'm the Gabby Genie.
He loves this, Ed, doesn't he? Oh, the lad in him.
Honestly.
Loves it. You guys saw that sound.
The worst sound out possible on radio.
It sounds like Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, doesn't
like
it?
a little kid's toy.
As we all know, every good genie is able to grant 3 magic wishes with a nice gentle rub of their lamp. And Genie Gab is no different. Let's get straight to it. Gabby, I'd like a rub of your lamp, please.
Poor defending from Everton. You can hear the boos from those that have stayed amongst the home contingent. It's a first Everton defeat at their new home here at Hill Dickinson Stadium.
How did you see that one, Gab, by the way? You know, the Everton goal chopped off, the Tottenham goal, Van de Ven.
It definitely should have been given that goal. I thought they were poor from set pieces, though, defending.
Yeah.
Van de Ven scoring.
Can't the keeper do more? I know he's not the tallest.
Yes. The one where he just literally, like, glanced it in front of Pickford, the goalkeeper's got to do more there.
He did shove him.
Not a lot, though.
No, but you're not allowed to do that, Gab. If you push someone, especially a goal's resulting in it, it's a foul.
So if you done that 40 years ago and a goal was disallowed, you tell me you wouldn't change
But that was different. You know, Andy Gray, you think of the cup final against Watford when he smashes Sherwood into the back of the net and the goal stands. It's a different game.
I just think keepers have always been protected too much for me.
No, but I've seen worse. I've seen, for me, it's a blatant push.
Yes.
It's a blatant push. Now, what about Everton's goal?
I don't understand why it's disallowed.
Well, they're saying there was interference, not offside.
No, it wasn't. Come on. He's never saving the header anyway.
But that's the problem with the new rules. Yeah. No one knows what's right and what's wrong.
No, he's not saving it anyway.
Tottenham deserve to win, but
yes,
crikey, you know, some of the decisions going on now. Anyway.
Totally agree.
Just 1-7 now for the Toffees. Dave has come to you, Genie Gab, and asked you to grant him the wish of keeping the fans out onside. Can you grant them that wish, Everton? It's only the first game they've lost in the new stadium.
But form's got to get better because you look at the table, 14th position, 11 points. You look at Burnley, and you look at Fulham. You know, Burnley 1 point behind Everton. If Fulham win their next game, they go joint points with Everton. They've got to get a win next, but their next game out is Sunderland away. You'd only play, so that's Monday night under the lights.
Got momentum and togetherness.
Monday night under the lights against Sunderland, going to be a very tough game. I want to see Tyler Dibling give him more time. Very, very talented player, not really been given the minutes. Can you maybe move around NDI and put him as number 10 and get Dibling on that right-hand side that he likes? But I think David Moyes deserves time. You know,
he can't be under pressure.
No, I hope not. I know fans weren't happy with the defeat because it was 3-0 against Spurs, of course. But definitely give David Moyes time because he will get it right. Just need certain players to do better. Beto, I'm not having him one bit. And then Barry, the two strikers. He comes out with little digs as well, David Moyes, of like, sometimes the strikers have got to make their own goals. You know, like he's not happy with what they're doing. The ball bounces off him, Al. Bit erratic. They need a better centre forward for sure.
Okay. Right, let's have a second rub, Gab. Oh, dear.
It's Kobe Mainu! United fans in dreamland!
So, Kobe Mainu has come to you, Genie Gab, after being linked with a move to Napoli.
Yep.
He's asked you to grant him the wish of becoming a hero out there, like the likes of Scott McTominay. Would you grant him that wish? Is that a good move?
If I was him, I would leave immediately, Alan. This season, he's only been involved 7 appearances out of the 9 Premier League games, and he's only played 138 minutes of football. You know, that's not enough for someone so young and so talented. You're obviously not part of the manager's plans in that formation. You're not really going to play much football.
Why Italy, not Spain?
I think either, but I just look at what Gilmore's done, what McTominay's done, and Kobe Mainu needs to be playing week in, week out, and he's not going to get that at Manchester United. If I was him,
Is De Bruyne out for a few weeks as well?
Yeah, I think he's out for at least 5-6 weeks with a thigh injury. But when you're Kobe Mainu's age, Al, you need to play week in, week out, 90 minutes. Coming on for 10-15 minutes every game is demoralising for a centre midfielder.
Okay, let's do one final one, you traitor.
So I'm just doing an impression of you coming up the stairs. Help me! The stairs are mud. Get the left, fix the mud.
Yeah, I hope you get caught out and kicked out. Joe Marler's become a national icon after starring in the Traitors on BBC. Could win it. It's been watched by around 12 million people every night. It was amazing. He's come to you, Genie Gab, and asked you to grant him the wish of going all the way and winning it and becoming a reality TV star. Can Joe do it?
100%. I think anything that he does, the public will love. I've seen him a few times. Padel tournament, he was the main character. He was hilarious. He was missing shots.
He can't play paddle.
No, he was missing shots. He was talking when he should be playing paddle. But even when we had him on talkSPORT, he's a national
likeable.
Yeah, a national treasure. Everyone loves him, and I'm sure he will win it with ease.
Yeah, I hope so, Joe. Coming up here from a Liverpool fan who's calling the club a shambles right now. 03717 223344 is the number to call. Have your say next.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punchbag for many fans. So what happened? Let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. The important context here is that over the last 3 years, the club has lost over 300 million quid. And from day dot, Ratcliffe committed to fixing this, which of course is the right thing for the club. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way Sir Jim Ratcliffe, accompanied by Sir Dave Brailsford, went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands their lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them 1 million quid a year. Now that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it gets a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered essential. The reward for being Steward of the Week used to be 50 quid, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. And such is the grip Ratcliffe has on spending, he reportedly scrapped company credit cards, meaning some staff racking up hundreds of pounds worth of expenses and spending weeks out of pocket waiting to be reimbursed. But it's not just the stingy decisions around the amount of tea bags in the cafeteria. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge that United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Because while all this has been going on, Casemiro's getting paid 350 grand a week, and the club forked out 14 million quid getting rid of Eric Ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. But United fans' rage doesn't just stop here at the cuts. Ratcliffe's unpopular decision to introduce a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, certainly did not go down well. For fans, it feels like the very foundation of the club's support is being attacked for the sake of making marginal financial gains. But Ratcliffe has backed it, saying if you shy away from difficult decisions, then nothing is going to change. And time will tell whether these measures will improve operations at the club and help drag standards up on the pitch. But one thing's for sure, his first year wasn't exactly a charm offensive, and there's still a long way to go for United to be back to where many say they belong.
(9) talkSPORT Breakfast with Arne Clarke. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Gabby alongside me. I still don't know what you're doing on your phone. What are you typing?
I'm not on my phone. What are you lying for?
You're
We're on video, you know. They can see I'm not on my phone.
I just looked through there. You were typing.
What, during the break?
Yeah.
I'm talking to the producer.
No, you're not. I asked him. He said, no, you're not. You're a liar. And by the way, he's been on as well.
Who?
That traitor.
Oh, not Marla.
Oh, yeah, and I've had loads of texts and emails saying, tell me leave Alan Carr? Tell me leave him alone, and Jonathan, leave him alone. Yeah, he's bullying them. I'm like, what?
No, he's not a bully. No way.
I didn't think
too
so.
nice.
I thought he was doing well, but he's getting powers.
Is he?
So have a bit of that, Marla. Right, ahead of England versus Australia at Twickenham on Saturday. Will you be there? Are you too busy, Joe? Three-time the Six Nations winner Danny Kerr will join us to explain why George Ford has been picked at fly half over Finn, and Marcus Smith. We'll also get into him about his best mate Joe Marler in the Traitors. Can he win it? Probably. And could there be a return to the ring for former two-time champion Amir Khan? Well, he'll join us to explain why he's called out Manny Pacquiao. Would you believe it? All that to come and much, much more. But now the pressure seriously mounting on Liverpool manager Arne Slot after yet another defeat last night. It's just...
Oh, what a finish to this game. It's Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2.
If you would have told me before the game that we were able to create so many chances against the low block, against a team that kicks every ball long, then I would have said probably that's not possible.
The way that Eintracht played, into feet, neat and tidy, and it just allowed Liverpool to press them. Liverpool hadn't been allowed to play their natural game against the other four sides. Brentford not letting them do it tonight either.
Kind of reminds me at times of Arsene Wenger way back.
Yet another defeat for Liverpool. A 6 defeat in 7 in all competitions.
500 million quid. Broke the transfer record twice. He's put a kids team out in the Carabao Cup.
Everybody has always said how big of a squad we are having. When we played Chelsea, I said they're missing 8, but they can still bring Estevao in.
No, I think that's ludicrous what he was talking about there. They don't want him out because of what happened last season. I get that. But I think they're getting a little bit frustrated with the excuses he's coming out with time and time again.
Yep, that's right. Excuses. Oh dear, for Arne Slot after yet another defeat. The 6 in the last 7. Liverpool still come good. Let's remind ourselves of Arne's latest excuse after the game last night. He said this: I saw City starting 11 and they didn't have one starter from the weekend, but it felt like the best team. It's a bit of an insight. Chelsea can bring in Estevao in, then after I make 2 substitutions, we had 6 teenagers. It's safe to say our chief live football host, Adrian Dunham, he wasn't having this. Nope, earlier on this morning. Have a listen.
No, I think that's ludicrous what he was talking about there. Honestly, Arne Slot has just talked about how we've got to bring in these under-19s, and then he said, and then you look at Chelsea and they can bring in Estevao. Hello, mate. He's a teenager. I mean, it's like almost like he's lost sight of what he's trying to say. I mean, he might have a point in his head, but he's not coming across very well. I think it's one of the bigger problems that Liverpool fans have. I don't think any of them want him out or anything like that. 6 defeats in 7. They're 7 points behind the leaders at the top of the table. They don't want him out because of what happened last season. I get that. But I think they're getting a little bit frustrated with the excuses he's coming out with time and time again after games. And I think last night was the worst. He's picked a team. Now, when you're a manager, you pick a team to compete in a game. He's picked a team that wasn't competitive in any way in that game. And they didn't have anything on the bench. The big players were left at home. He didn't leave them at the 11 and put them on the bench. He left them at home. That's on him.
I think it'd be absolute madness if they even thought about getting rid of Arne Slot at the moment.
It's not even an option now. Not at all. What he done last season for that football club. But when you start talking about Chelsea and Man City and their squads, forget about them. You spent 420 million.
Yeah, but who spent that, Gab? But listen, I know you're on Slot's side here, and I'm with you. But who has spent that 400 million? Probably not him.
Surely. Spend 420 million. He's got to have a say on who's coming in.
I'm not sure they do now, Gab. I promise.
Well, that's incredible if he doesn't. But you look at the players that have gone as well. Obviously, Trent went, Nunes went, Diaz as well. But
look, Mo's been a big problem. Listen, I'm not going to slag Mo off because he's such a brilliant servant, but he's been pants this year.
He's not been at his best, of course. Great goal against Brentford, but he was poor in that game as well for the 90 minutes on the pitch. But how can a club like Liverpool, whoever it is making a transfer, spend that amount of money and not have a big enough squad of players? I can't have that. I can't have that as an excuse when you see a team like Brentford, what they're spending.
I think Kirkes and Wirtz have been...
Frimpong hasn't worked.
Shocking at the moment.
Kirkes, Wirtz, Frimpong hasn't worked. Isak hasn't got up to speed.
A big Liverpool fan, Gabby, says Kirkes was brilliant last year.
He was, yeah.
But I watched him a few times this year, and he's all over the shop. Is it confidence, lack of, or I don't know?
Listen, it's a slow start. Will he come good? I hope so, because last season he was outstanding defensively. I mean, assists, goals. He's got it all when he's on his game. But what do? You've got Robertson there. You take him out the firing line, and you bring in Robertson for 3-4 games.
I would.
And then maybe Kirkes comes in and starts to pick up his form. But right back as well, they do miss Trent. No matter who says that they don't, they miss him. Frimpong, for me, doesn't look like he's got the quality going forward. Definitely hasn't defensively. Connor Bradley, He's a very good player, but you compare Liverpool's defence to Arsenal's options, and you say to yourself, there's a reason why Arsenal have only conceded 3 Premier League goals.
Yeah.
Liverpool,
well, the
14.
2 centre-backs have been brilliant, and Liverpool's were, but they're not this season. Let me take a call. 03717223344. Chris is a big Liverpool fan. Chris, morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, boys. How are we?
Oh, wow,
we're good, Chris. We're just a bit puzzled what's going on here from last year to this year. It's chalk and cheese.
I'll tell you what, last year, Liverpool and Anfield was an absolute fortress. It's it's been said on the show before that it's not the same anymore. We're leaking goals like Old Trafford leaks water, and I don't know what Kirkes needs to be dropped. He's not good enough. He's been found out. Yes, he was outstanding at Bournemouth, but to come from a club like Bournemouth to a club like Liverpool, you've been found out, mate. Top and bottom of it. For me, Robbo, like you said, like you boys just said, Robbo would be in the team every week for me.
Yeah.
Mo Salah, he's not performing to the great heights that we used to see him from him, but like everyone says, we're only 8-9 games into the season. He's not having a great start like he did previously, but it'll come good.
We've seen a couple players as well struggle. I mean, for me, Simmons at Spurs, he's struggling lightweight on the floor every second, getting bullied. Wirtz, similar, it's not working yet. They do need time, of course, but it just shows the level of the Premier League, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Not necessarily the Premier League. It's the level of the different teams. I mean, you could be young Rio for us last night came on. Well, started and was phenomenal. He missed a chance and his head went down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that. He's gone through on goal. He's hit the shot. It's come off the defender and he stood there. The ball's gone through his legs. He could have won that ball again and had another dig. But that's down to age and lack of experience and what have you. I mean, I can't really sit here and preach because I'm not a professional footballer. My concern is I'm going to the game on Saturday. Only way I could get a ticket was hospitality. It's quite an expensive weekend.
Yes.
And I'm at this point now. I don't want to go because if I go and we lose, it'll ruin my whole.
Can I have the ticket, mate? Is that all right?
Frank, you got to go.
Yeah,
you got to go, mate.
Yeah, if you've got the money to pay me for it, Gabs.
No, freebie, mate.
You ain't shy of a few quid.
I believe in freebies only. Ask Alan.
Oh, shocking.
Frank,
get there early because the traffic's murder. Get there early.
You've got to beat Benty at Padel and earn some money. Then you might be able to have it.
Exactly.
Sorry, that's Chris. I'm now going to go to Frank. Chris, thank you. Frank, morning, Frank.
Good morning, Frank.
Hi, Gabby. Hi, Al. You all right?
You okay,
yeah,
mate?
Good, mate? What do you reckon? What's going on?
I think too many people are looking at the players more than they're looking at Slot tactically because I know last season he won us the Premier League. Fair enough, fair dues. But this has been going on since January. We've been in poor form since January. If you look at a Jurgen Klopp team or whatever, the pressure's not there. There's no intensity in the tempo of the football, getting the ball forward. None whatsoever. All it is pass to the centre back, pass to the other centre back. And when the players get out on the wings, I never see a winger take anyone on.
Always come back inside.
Yeah, they come back inside or they'll go back. They never take anyone on. There's no... What's the word? There's no expression in the final third. You know what I mean? It's all stagnant football, and too many people are blaming the players and blaming this, but they've got to take a look closer at home at Arne Slot, because for me, I've called it from the off. I've never really rated him as a manager, to be honest.
Listen, big game against Villa on the weekend, but Tuesday night, can I ask you as a Liverpool fan, what reception will Trent get, do you reckon?
For me, Trent, he's a Liverpool lad. He did well for us, and I've got no bad feelings for him, and I wish him well. But at the same time,
you're going to boo him.
No one put it this way, Gabby. If it was me, I wouldn't boo him. You know what I mean? Personally, I know all the other fans might say different or whatever. But I don't wish him any bad feelings, to be honest.
It will be interesting. But Frank, enjoy the game, whatever. Look, it's your club. Don't forget, here Liverpool's next game against Gabby's Villa, and even his latest excuse. Live and exclusive on talkSPORT, Saturday night kickoff 8 p.m. Coming up, does England rugby legend Danny Care think the attention from the traitors has gone to Joe's head? Joe Marler. We find that out next as well as previewing a big game as well. The Aussies come to Twickenham. It's England against Australia this weekend in the Autumn Nations. 9:21, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arne Clarke. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Gabby's alongside me now. Here we go. Celebrity Traitors has gripped the nation. Fantastic audiences. With each episode having averaged around, 13, 14 million viewers among over 18s. And one of the talkSPORT Breakfast very good friends is making quite a name for himself in mainstream culture.
I've been handed a bloody ordering notepad to take your order.
It's shared with the bowl. He says, "Oh, you must be one of the catering staff. Just go straight there, pal. Unload over there."
All right, I went up to Liverpool the other day to do a podcast called Have a Word. A load of Scouse guys there. They're really funny comedians. Love doing it. And for some reason, I just thought I'd express my opinion on the Beatles.
Oh, no.
Which isn't very kind.
Well, I haven't been picked, have I, Laura?
Yeah.
Thank you for
Sorry.
breaking my heart. Just let me remind you, you're not good enough to pick for England. Cheers, mate. I heard you talking about Peppa Pig, mate. Peppa Pig's awful. It's like the world's worst cartoon, mate. Why don't we do Celebrity Hunted?
I love that.
You fancy that? Why don't we do that?
Right.
So the nation is learning Joe Marler's inquisitive side, going head-to-head with British television staples such as Jonathan Ross, Alan Carr, Kate Garraway and many, many more to hunt down traitors. John is now more on Joe's performance as a faithful as well as preview the up-and-coming autumn rugby internationals. Former England Harlequin scrum half who knows them very well, Danny Kerr. Danny, morning.
Good morning, Danny.
Morning, boys. No wonder my media requests have gone through the roof this week. It's all Marler.
Do you know what, Danny? I reckon you're not surprised he's doing well, are you?
No, I as soon as he told me he was going in, I said, I reckon he'd win it because he's born to play that game. He really is. And no one can ever work him out. Yeah. And now he's in there with A-list celebrities, and you could see he is mind warping them all. They have no idea what he's on about. I thought last night it might be the first round table flip, and I thought he was gonna whack Jonathan Ross, which I thought would be incredible because I've seen those eyes before. He was angry, but no, he's doing amazing. We're all really proud of him, and he's smashing it.
Well, I've not seen it, but he's given me a little bit of stick on the emails today, Joe. So I'm going to have to watch it to get a bit of ammo for next week. But no, I do like Joe a lot. I like him a lot. But he's just different, isn't he? He's totally different.
He is built different in physical stature and the way he is with people. Those pearly blue eyes, that they can melt you, but they can also they can hurt you. I've seen those eyes before when he gets angry, and then I've seen people get quite physically hurt straight after. So I was a bit worried for a few of those celebs around the table, but no, he's also, I think you'll agree, Al, he's one of the smartest blokes I've ever come across. He remembers everything, and I think that's the perfect way.
Well, that's a great asset to have, Danny.
Danny, there are 12 million viewers. Do you think that'll go to his head? Might forget about some of his rugby pals and be out with big time celebrities?
He's already forgotten us, mate. He's already forgotten us. I try and track him down. I get him about once a month for a game of paddle, and that's about it.
He's terrible, isn't he? Wow,
terrible, mate. Another appearance, another podcast. He's all over.
So stiff.
Tough. Oh yeah, he's moving him around. You've got to move the big round around. You've got to find the corners against Joe when you're in the paddle court.
So looking ahead, it's a good time of the year, Danny. The first game at Twickenham, Australia come. What sort of game do you expect? Expect England comfortably, or will the Aussies? Look, there's no love lost. Will they make a real game of this?
They will. Last year, Australia won in the 82nd minute. They had an unbelievable bit of skill down the left to win an incredible game at Twickenham, and it completely silenced 82,000 people at Twickenham. They possessed a couple of superstars. As where's number 13 outside centre, Joseph Sualihi. He's a rock star in the Australian team, and they're coming off the end of a full season, so they are battle hardened. They've had the Lions tour. They've been on the Rugby Championship, and they've come over here battle ready. And England, it's their first game, which is always a bit of a tricky one. It's always like the first one, you want to get that monkey off your back, get a good win. But I expect England to win at home. I expect England to win every game at home, and hopefully 5 or 6 points this weekend.
He's made some big changes, hasn't he, the coach? Do you think he's overthinking it a bit, or are you happy with the changes?
I like it. I think it shows a bit of a flex of how good his squad is. He's left out a couple of really big names, Ollie Lawrence and Marcus Smith, who would be in most world 23s. They're not even in the 23. He's got 6 British Lions on the bench, so he stacked the bench. I think the England coach is always one of the really toughest jobs. You've got so many good players to pick from, so many players playing well in the domestic league and the Prem this season. But I quite like the way he's done it. I think he's going to mix it up for the next 3 or 4 games. I think you're going to see a lot of players, some young lads getting a few opportunities as well. And there's some wicked teams coming to Twickenham, and there's some wicked teams coming all over the shores to play. And yeah, the next 4 weeks going to be mega for rugby.
Danny, George Ford to start. Is that a surprise to you? Look, we know he's been fantastic, but he's going to start.
No, it doesn't surprise me. George is one of the best operators. I heard him speaking to you guys not long ago on here. You know, knows the game so well. He's almost like another coach out there. Just guides the team around the field incredibly well. Over 100 caps now, so incredible experience. And he brings a control and a steadiness to the team. But you've also got Marcus Smith and Finn Smith both fighting for that jersey. It's probably a blessing and a curse to have 3 incredible 10s that both all deserve to play. It's brilliant for England, but it's just trying to fit them all in and give them all some game time to show what they can do.
Danny, we've got a message here, mate, from Joe Marler. He says, ask Danny how he done last time he played me at Padel. And there's a swear word at the end, begins with W, but you can figure out what that means, mate.
Wicked.
Okay. Yeah, wicked. Yeah. So we played, there's 4 of us that play, myself, Ollie Cohn and Mark Lambert. I'm the lightest by a good 12 stone. So I go with Ollie Cohn, the biggest of them all. He's 23 kilos. Sorry, 23 stone, not 23 kilos. That's one of his meals. He's 23 stone, and we play against Marler and Lambert. And yeah, arrogance got the better of us. We won the first game. Arrogance got the better of us. We tried to mess around a bit too much. And Marler, when he wants to turn it on, he actually fair play to him. He got the win this one.
Did he? I have a message from Alan Clarke. He says, Alan, I'm not scared of that wuss Marler.
I tell you what, he is my favourite character on that. I know Marler's one of my best mates, but Alan Clarke for me, he's played that game so incredibly well. And yeah, he's not scared of Joe. He's like going for him, which I quite like.
Yeah,
fear for his life after. To be honest.
Listen, enjoy the weekend. Thanks, Danny, for coming on.
Top man.
Thank you, Danny Kerr. I'm going to have to watch this.
Yeah, so am I. Everyone's talking about it. There's too many things to watch, though.
I'm terrible, Gab.
It's hard something.
I still like movies and series. Do you know what I mean? I just like watching a series or a movie. I go back to... I watched The Godfather again last night. You know, I just like getting...
I'll start something. I'll be halfway through. I'm halfway through Eddie Hearn's documentary, Matchroom.
Oh, yeah.
I've not finished Charlie Sheen's documentary. There's so many things I've got to finish.
Books as well. I'm Piers Morgan. I'm trying to finish his book, you know?
Yeah, you need another holiday to read your books, mate.
Oh, the way I feel I'll be taking one. Right, 9:28. Coming up. Could we see Manny Pacquiao back in the ring against Amir Khan? Yes, we'll find out next from Amir himself.
boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the tax man at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Do that, Gab. You got to get Twickenham.
100%. 100%.
You'll love it, honestly.
It's on the bucket list.
Is it your boy?
Yes.
Or your kid, or your daughter.
Yes.
You know, but you'd love it, honestly.
And I want to see the atmosphere as well of like...
Jump the train.
Fans can sit together, can't they? There's no problems.
Oh,
no,
none at
no
all.
trouble.
None at all.
It's good. Yes.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy. So really, Ali's made it.
Okay. I can go there.
And Gabby and Arne Clarke get £750 off any used electric car or home charger. By the way, he said he'd ring me yesterday, as usual. Nothing.
Ali's the worst.
I'll ring you after 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Ali's the worst.
What, 10 o'clock next month? December. Now, a bit of exciting news in the boxing world this morning. It's concerning former 2-time welterweight champion Amir Khan. Amir has called out 8-time world champion Manny Pacquiao on X, saying it's the only fight that would get him out of retirement, a fight which almost happened if you go back to 2015. Amir now works in boxing promotion, staging major events in Ghana and Nigeria, which will see former world champion Lawrence Okoli headline the event this December, titled Chaos in the Ring. So, to get a bit more on this and why Amir has decided to call out Pacquiao, the man himself joins us now, Amir Khan. Amir, a very good morning.
Good morning, Amir.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. I mean, you look, I see that Manny Pacquiao looking for an opponent. Obviously, you do get that itch. You want to get back in that ring again. I do miss the sport. Don't get me wrong. I've been in it all my life, and literally, when you retire, for the first couple of years, you enjoy yourself, but then you do get a bit itchy. Hands, you want to get back in that ring again and throw a few punches. And I think Manny Pacquiao, in my opinion, is probably the same level where we were both retired around the same time. It was a fight that was talked about a very long time ago. It never happened. And looking for an opponent, so I thought, why not agree and say, yeah, I don't mind fighting you.
What sort of shape are you in at the moment? I mean, are you still sparring, or is it mainly business now with, putting these great fights on?
You know what? It's mainly business. I'm still keeping fit. My wife hates me being a little bit out of shape. She's always having a go at me saying, Look, it hit me the other day when I was trying some pants on and they didn't fit, and I was like, I need to sort myself out here. And you know, one thing about, I know I always wear trackies, and when you wear trackies, it always has a bit of elastic and a little bit of a give. But when you wear pants, there's no give in them. So I was like, wait a minute, I need to sort myself out.
And being so involved in boxing.
Stand up a minute.
Being so involved in boxing, Amir, is with your own promotional company. Is it like you said there? You feel like you get the buzz back. Like, you know what? I'm 38. I can still do business in the boxing world. I fancy another scrap.
Yeah, definitely. You know what it is? If you think about it, you know, being a fighter, and then when I promote fights now, and being an ex-fighter, I look in the ring, I think, wow, I can still do it. And I go in the gym and I start training a little bit. You know, I still have it. It's not like it's gone.
Yep.
You know, after my last fight last time, I thought I was done with the sport now, and I was, because boxing was so much, and there was a lot of media, there was a lot of hype about the fight with Kel, and then I never really got time to enjoy myself, and it was straight after COVID as well. Whereas now I think I've had time to kind of let it sink in that I'm retired, but at the same time, I do miss the sport as well, and I do want to get back in that camp again and train again. Look, financially, I'm okay, I'm good, and I don't need to come back. So I've been getting that way. But the main thing is that I've just got that itch that I want to put them gloves on once again.
Yeah.
One more time.
I mean, did I not read, though, that Pacquiao was talking about a rematch with Mayweather? Are you there?
Yeah, I saw that a rematch with Manny was. But I don't know. I think that, you know what, it's not a fight that I don't think Mayweather wanting that fight. I think Mayweather's too busy doing these exhibitions with YouTubers and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, it's a fight that maybe it's a little bit different. It'd be nice to maybe be in the ring with Manny and maybe see how the fight would have been back in the day when we fought each other. I know, even though we are past it now, but yeah, what a fight it'd be. I mean, look, end of the day, I'd like to be in the ring with legends, and obviously I've fought a few in my career, but you know what, Manny Pacquiao, in my opinion, is a friend and is a great fighter, and I know that it'll be a great fight and very sellable as well, because we both have half decent names, you know, that we could be big in that way where we can. Yeah.
Sorry, Gab, but and also, I mean, it wouldn't. I think it'd be more interesting than Jake Paul against Mike Tyson. Do you know what I mean? I think this one would create more interest.
Well, definitely. You know what? It'll create more hype. The reason why that is because I think we both probably just retired recently, and at the same time, both being big names and in the welterweight division, we were both world champions in the welterweight division, in light welterweight and the welterweight division. So, yeah, it'll be a big fight. Look, and it's a fight that's been talked about for a very, very long time. I mean, look, I had to say something about the fight when Manny was talking about coming back retirement. I thought, you know what, let me just put my little word in there. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, look, it's all good. But I would love the fight if that ever happened. You know what I mean? If I ever got the opportunity to get that one, I'd definitely take it. And you know, that's a fight that definitely give you that little buzz as well to get back in the gym and get back fit again.
Yep.
Amir, talk to me about this event in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm of Nigerian heritage myself, and was it a no-brainer with so many Nigerian heavyweights? Akoli, Adelaide, even Itoma's Nigerian, Anthony Joshua, Nigerian heritage. Can you talk to me about this event, please?
Yeah, you know, and it's crazy that there's never been big events there since we've started putting the shows on, because I mean, having that many world champions like you just mentioned, from the ages, Atuma and all them guys, there's not really been any big fights happening in Nigeria. But look, we're going to be back there again. Chaos in the Ring 2. It's going to be on a Friday, December 19th. And it's going to be at the Molbolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos. It's going to be live on DAZN, and we've got an amazing headlining fight, which is going to be Lawrence Okoli. 22-1, 60 knockouts, former two-time world champion, WBO cruiserweight and WBC bridgerweight world champion. He's number one in the heavyweight division. Now he's moved up a weight, and obviously this is going to be one of his first fights in the heavyweight division. He's number one contender, so you know, winning this fight could take him on to a world title fight. So I think it's history he wants to make. And then we've also got the co-main event, which is going to be David Adelaide.
Yes.
David Adelaide is very explosive. I mean, he might have lost his last fight against Hrgovic, but the thing is, he did really well. And you know, when he comes to fight, he comes for them big knockouts. I mean, 13 of the 14 fights are won by knockout. And I'm sure he wants a big rebound and, you know, to come from that Hrgovic fight. And because both fighters are Nigerian, I think it'll be amazing to add that to their list, to their bucket list. Like, look, we fought in this country where our parents are from, and it's making history. And then obviously we've got Emmanuel Odyssey, a fighter that Age is managing, a great fighter. You know, he's had a few first round knockouts, and he's fighting. He's fighting a guy called Musa Tope, who's at 18-0, 13 knockouts. So that's another, 50-50 fight. So, the cards that we're putting on there, as a fighter myself, I want to put on great shows, exciting fights for the fans and for the team. And fights that are not one-sided. They're going to be close, but they're going to be exciting to watch.
Just Gabby mentioned the Tuma there, Moses. I'm really excited about him, Amir. I think he's fantastic. And now we have another emerging heavyweight in Fabio Wardley, the Ipswich boy who stopped Joe Parker. So Tuma, how do you rate him? He looks special to me, very special.
Atuma does look very special. Young, explosive, fast. Looks like a young Mike Tyson. Explosive. Speed and everything, and obviously no one can really test him. I mean, I guess that last fight, I was in Saudi Arabia when he fought against Dylan White, and that knockout he did, I mean, the way he destroyed Dylan, didn't really let Dylan get into motion. It was a first round knockout. It was so quick, which no one expected, because Dylan can take a good shot and give a good shot back. I just feel like maybe he caught Dylan cold, but then catching someone cold and finishing them off that quick, I mean, that shows how good of a fighter he is and how strong he is. Also, Wardley on the weekend had a great performance. What a fight that was. He beat Parker. Parker's a dear friend, close friend of mine. But you know what? Wardley deserves it. Honestly, what a fight he put on. He was punch perfect in that fight. He did everything right, showed a lot of heart, a lot of grit.
He's a warrior, isn't he? He can take one and give one.
And from Ipswich.
Yes.
I mean, not many fighters come from Ipswich, but he could be the first to come and win a world title. I mean, that'd be massive news for the. Is it a town or is it a city?
No, town. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Amir, I wanted to go back to the card you've got. I mean, how much will this card inspire the next generation of fighters, and also fighters like AJ? Coming to the end of his career. He'll be inspired by seeing a Coley and Adelaide fight in Lagos. So maybe he will want to do that before he retires.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we here now in Nigeria. We've already stamped our mark. And we would love to have AJ one day fight here. I mean, I'd love to promote that fight and put on a show. AJ, I'm sure there is interest, as every fighter would want to fight in their home backyard, where their family are from, where their parents are born. He's Nigerian. I'm sure one day he wants to fight there. And look, I'm willing to put that on. It'd be amazing. I'm sure when he sees a Coley and a David fight there, he's going to be like, wow, I think I should do that. Look, these are not small shows. They are shows. And to do shows in places like Africa where it's a little bit tough and it's not easy and don't go the right way, but you know what, we have a good team there, and the team that we have, make things easy, but at the same time we all hands on. I mean, I've got my brother even working. I work myself. I'm making sure everything's done right. I mean, the team that we have is fantastic, making sure that everything's done properly. But look, we'd love to host AJ. I just got a call today earlier for the UFC PFL champion Ngannou. He's showing some interest of coming to the show and wants to probably put on the boxing gloves again.
Lovely.
So it just shows that boxing is one of them sports where you don't know what can happen tomorrow, because there's fighters coming and going, but new names are coming in. I mean, it's crazy. It's one of the wild.
Well, Amir, great to talk. Good luck with the possibility of taking on Manny Pacquiao, and certainly good luck with AK Promotions over in Nigeria. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, guys. And listen, you guys are more than welcome. We had your team members there last time, but it'd be amazing if you guys would. If you ever want to be there, we'll give you the front row tickets.
100%, mate.
Nice one,
Hi,
Amir.
guys.
Thank you,
Amir. Top man.
Amir Khan there. So maybe back in the ring. Incredible. Yeah. Right. Quick break. We'll come back to that. 9:46. Gab, this is a great cause. you have to lose the hat.
They've told me to put the hat on, mate.
Well, put it on properly.
It doesn't fit my massive head.
Right, it's time now for this, Ed.
The ultimate 11 on talkSPORT with November. The Mustache is calling. Grow and mow, raise funds, save lives. Sign up now at Movember.com.
You're a little American truck driver.
This is for 7-year-olds.
Ice road truckers.
Come on now, we got big heads now, we need big hats, mate.
Every day this week we're looking at iconic moustaches and terrible tashes in football to build our ultimate 11 squad. All thanks to Movember. So far we have Neville Southall on goal. A back four, here we go. Cammy, Chris Kamara, Matt Lawrenson, we got Giuseppe Bergami and Paul Breitner. Remember him, what a player. You're too young, Gab. What a player he was. Left fullback, brilliant. The dynamic midfield consists of Graham Souness, Arrevelino, Ruud Gullit and Johnny Ward.
Remember him, Hunt?
So today we're announcing our two strikers, Gab. I'm afraid you're not in.
Didn't make it. I can't go.
No. You're not in, Gab. The first man we have to put in this is Ian Rush.
I was going to say Rush. Yeah.
What a player and what a moustache. Rushy was, always remember, I've said it before on talkSPORT, Bobby Robson said to Terry Butcher, Russell Osman, FA Cup, early rounds, first few rounds, he says, right, we're playing this side, we're going to beat them, but be warned now, there's a guy up front. He's dynamite, right? You won't have heard of him, you won't know him yet, but you will. He's dynamite. Keep your eyes on him. It was Chester coming to Portman Road, Ipswich Chester,
yes.
And it was Ian Rush.
How good was he?
He never got a kick that day, but he come back to haunt Ipswich.
Yes, what a player.
Him and Kenny. Oh, what a player, you're right. Absolute. Right, to complete the shortlist, let's bring in a true talkSPORT legend.
There's 2 points I'd like to make about Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
He played for Newcastle United, quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise how good he was.
Oh, you're missing him. You're missing him clearly, based on what you got now.
God, he scored so many goals.
He'd bring a tear to a glass eye. Quinny, morning.
Morning, Quinny.
Morning, Gabby.
Oh, every time I hear that, it kills me. It kills me.
He's only human, Alan. He's human.
It kills me. So what happened to was that after you watched Gone with the Wind, Clark Gable, you thought, I'm having a tash?
In Liverpool, I was born with a tash. I'm from a family full of tashes. Even my nan had a tash. But it was the in thing at the time. From 15, 16, I could grow one. Looked above my age at the time. And I met my Miss Karen when I was at Coventry. And she said, you know where you're having a tash. You better get that off while I'm leaving you. So that's when it came off. 30 years of age.
Quinny Taunton Coventry, absolutely fine, eh?
Brilliant, Alan. Brilliant. I went to see them a couple of times last year, and they were just lacking goals. They were playing some lovely football and beating most of the top teams in the division at the time, and they've added the goals to the football now. Yeah. I think they'll storm it. I really do. I think they'll storm it.
Got 14 goals more than anyone else. 34 goals. Incredible.
I'll be honest, unbelievable. Wow. They just kept missing chances last year for one reason or another, but this year they're sticking them away.
Yeah.
And they're exciting to watch as well.
Quinny, before we go on to Liverpool, just with prostate cancer and cancer in particular, any cancer, Movember's it's a great idea. It's a great concept.
Yeah, look forward to it every year, really. If they want to ask me to grow one next year, I might grow one back out. But I usually get involved. I was involved with Crouchy last year, doing something, and it's amazing how the old Muzzy comes back to fruition every November for a great cause as well. Absolute great cause.
So Liverpool at the moment, this is a weird one, Quinny. Last year champions, Arne Slot, the Messiah after Jurgen, and all of a sudden it's weird this year. Can you put your finger on it? What is wrong of late? The last sort of half a dozen games.
Just conceding goals, Alan, which is not like them. I mean, when Arne Slot took over from Jurgen, that's what they remind me of. The team Jurgen had when he first took over, bombing forward. They had to win 4-3 to win a football match. But when Slot took over from Klopp, he took the fullbacks in and dropped them back 10 yards and they were solid, really solid, didn't concede goals. Look, it's been an unusual summer. Obviously, Jota passed away. That hit a few of the players. I remember Virgil van Dijk saying just before the season they're probably 2 or 3 weeks behind everyone pre-season.
Yeah.
And I was surprised at the start that they did make, but they rode a bit of luck, and it's caught up with them. Any Liverpool fans who were calling for Slot's head, grow up, will you? Bloody hell. I mean, he won the league last year. I mean, I've heard rumours already, but that team he put out last night was one of the weakest teams I've seen for a long time. And I understand why he did it, because they've got Villa, they've got Real Madrid, they've got Man City coming up. So, and it gives them kids a lot of, experience. But listen, Al, Liverpool's first team couldn't beat Palace on 2 occasions. And the price of Liverpool drifted when the team sheet was out from even money to 2-1. The bookies knew, Al. The bookies knew.
Well, they always know, Quinny. Quinny, what's your tip for the Breeders' Cup? One horse?
Do you know what? True Love, I'm all over it. Precise as well. And Mini Hawk. There's a treble, Al. Put that in your pipe. I'm at Newmarket tomorrow if you're around.
All right, okay. Well,
early kickoff, though. It's early kickoff.
Oh, is it? Quinny, if I do, I'll ring you, okay? Thanks, pal.
Top man, Quinny.
Cheers, Mickey Quinn. There you go. He scored some goals, by the way, Gabby. Quinny.
It's a better player than you, wasn't
he? He scored some goals in the lower leagues. No, he did. He scored some crackers.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mickey Quinn. Right, hopefully I'm back tomorrow with Gab. I'll see how I feel. Honestly, I cough, my head's about to explode, but I'll see if I can get some pools today. Hope you enjoyed it today. Gabby, good luck tonight. You're doing a function over here.
Yes, thank you, Alan.
And hope we're better luck. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Yes. Don't go away, because little Sam and Alan Pardew coming next.
The ultimate 11 on talkSPORT with November. Grow moustache, raise funds, save lives, and change the face of men's health. Sign up now at November.com.